refusing to yield the floor. To stage such a talking filibuster, a senator would hold the floor by standing and talking as long as they could, sometimes overnight. This was popularized in 1933 in the 1939 film Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. The longest filibuster ever recorded was by South Carolina Senator Strom Thurmond. In opposition to the Civil Rights Act of 1957, it lasted for more than 24 hours. But since the early 1970s, senators have been able to use a silent filibuster. Anytime a group of 41 or more senators simply threatens a filibuster, the Senate majority. Strom Thurmond, known segregationist and flat out fucking racist. Of course, that would make sense. Critics of the filibuster have pointed to its racial history, including its early uses in the 19th century by pro-slavery senators, including John C. Calhoun of South Carolina, who used it to protect the interests of Southern white landowners who depended on slave labor. The enactment of Rule 22 in 1917 gave rise to the modern filibuster, which also has been used to block civil rights legislation, especially during Jim Crow. In fact, this was one of the primary uses of the filibuster during the 20th century. According to a study conducted by political scientists Sarah Binder and Stephen Smith, of the 30 measures that were derailed by the filibuster between 1917 and 1994, exactly half of them involved civil rights. Filibusters blocked measures such as anti-lynching bills proposed in 1922 and 1935, the Civil Rights Act of 1957, and legislation that would have prohibited poll taxes and outlawed discrimination in employment, housing, and voting. How has the filibuster changed over time? The use of the filibuster, once reserved for only the most controversial issues, has increased dramatically in recent years alongside growing polarization in Washington. There have been more than 2,000 filibusters since 1917. About half have been in just the last 12 to 15 years. Critics argue that this increased use has slowed business in the Senate to a halt. They always refer to the Senate as the world's most deliberative body. This is partly why. Often entangling the chamber in procedural maneuvering instead of substantive vote and ultimately lawmaking. What has been the impact of increasing filibuster use? The ongoing deadlock on certain issues has led to the use of budget reconciliation tool to bypass the chamber's procedural hurdles. We just saw that in the Senate on the House resolution. We literally just saw this. Designed to expedite Congress's budget process. Reconciliation bills can pass with only 51 votes compared to the de facto 60 vote requirement imposed by the filibuster. However, the budget reconciliation process is limited in scope, and analysts argue that it was not designed to handle the sweeping scale of legislation that marks its current use. Critics of the modern filibuster have argued that the maneuver undermines the Senate as a governing body and its reputation as a consensus-building chamber. The Senate, unlike the House, is intended and built to find compromise. The House, sure, by and large, but that was the intention of the Senate. That's why the numbers are limited, and that's why it's referred to as the world's most deliberative body. It was designed in our bicameral government to really be an example of democracy, compromise, working together. But because of Jim Crow and racists in the Senate and in our history of racism, it's turned into what it's turned into. Critics of the modern filibuster have argued that the maneuver undermines the Senate as a governing body and its reputation as a consensus-building chamber. The mere threat of a filibuster silences debate and removes incentives to work toward compromise. Overuse of the filibuster magnifies problems of representation endemic to the Senate, where small and large states alike are each represented by only 2 senators. However, the population disparity between the largest and smallest states has increased significantly since the founding. Today, the 26 least populous states are home to just 17% of the U.S. population. This is a very important part here. This means that a group of senators representing a small minority of the country can use the filibuster to prevent the passage of bills with broad public support. So think about hardcore right-wing senators in states like Wyoming or Montana or Vermont, for that matter. Having the same amount of representation as senators from California or from Florida or from Texas or from Illinois, of the most populated states, so they can really muck up the gears of democracy. Filibuster abuse also threatens the checks and balances between the branches of government. The relative stagnancy of Congress, which is in large part due to the filibuster, has pushed presidents to increase their use of executive power, which in turn often goes unchecked because of Congress's inability to act. So an unfortunate response to a lot of the filibuster tactics and greasing the gears has empowered, you're right, Francis, Vermont isn't real, has empowered the use of executive orders. So as we've seen a rise in senatorial dissent, meaning fewer people willing to compromise, you've also seen a rise in executive orders. It's because the executive saying, we can't count on Congress to get this done. The problem, as we know, with executive orders is they are many, many times, quote unquote, today, that they're violating the law, and Congress is the only one that can change. And the filibuster and then executive orders, so then it's subjected to judicial review, right? Some legal scholars argue that the filibuster may not even be constitutional, citing Article 1, Section 5, which states that, quote, a majority of each house shall constitute a quorum to do business. It's not a rule. It's not a Senate rule. It's not a Senate bylaw, which means they can, did I freeze? I think we're back. It's not a Senate rule. It's just kind of an unwritten rule. And then, that's why, like we talk about, this is where democracy goes to die. So Article 1, Section 5 of the Constitution talks about just a simple majority. So we're seeing what we're seeing. What options are available for filibuster reform? As Senate gridlock persists, calls for eliminating the filibuster altogether have grown louder, especially given its historical complicity in perpetuating Jim Crow laws and thwarting civil rights legislation and voting reforms. Changing the Senate rules, particularly Rule 22, would be the most straightforward way to eliminate the filibuster, although such a change would require a 2/3 supermajority. The nuclear option is another way to eliminate the filibuster. Under this method, the Senate Majority Leader would use a non-debatable motion to bring a bill for vote and then raise a point of order that cloture can be invoked with a simple majority. So the Senate Majority Leader has a lot of power. The reason that you don't see either side using it is because there will likely be retribution when the majorityship goes from party to party, right? So it's a political football. And sadly, most of it is we know a lot of it is just rooted in Jim Crow and racism. And because neither party wants to, listen, I personally, I would take my chances without the filibuster. I really would. Because I think there are so many things that could potentially get done without it. Dangerous. It's a dangerous proposition, right? But that's why elections matter. So if the Republican Party holds and conservatives hold the majorityship in the Senate and the filibuster is gone, then we get what we get. Conversely, if there's a majority in the House and a majority in the Senate and they believe in progress, then all of a sudden you vote on universal health care, for example. Things like that. You vote on overfunding public education. You vote on court reform. You vote on all these kinds of things, right? So it's a tough call, but I personally, if it were me, I would say I would nuke the filibuster. Some advocates argue that voting rights legislation warrants an exemption from the filibuster, even if the procedure is not eliminated altogether. Stacey Abrams, the voting rights champion and former minority leader in the Georgia House of Representatives, has called upon senators to lift the filibuster for election reform legislation. Another example, such as the For the People Act or the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. Protection of democracy is so fundamental that it should be exempt from the filibuster rules, she said, noting that the filibuster has already been suspended for judicial cabinet appointments, among other measures. So that's kind of the idea. Thank you for letting me take you guys through that. I just think, again, this is a civics education that I think a lot of us could really use. So what Cory Booker, and he's still going, by the way, what Cory Booker's doing is technically not filibustering because he's not using it to either delay a vote or stop a vote. He's just using his platform to talk about what's happening with the Trump administration. So I like the attention it's getting. It's long overdue. These are the kinds of things within our system that are doable. You get the attention. I'm sure there are going to be responses, but even the majority leader can't take the gavel or can't take the microphone from him. It's within his rights and privileges as a senator. He can hold the floor as long as he can go, right? So anyway, all right. Well, it is April Fool's Day, in case you didn't know. And again, happy April. By the way, April is Autism Awareness Month. So throughout this month, we will be highlighting the fact that it is Autism Awareness Month. And we will be having conversations with families and people and persons who've been impacted by it. Also, medical advancements and, unfortunately, the side effects of legislation taking away benefits for families and communities who depend on resources from the federal government when it comes to children and family members with autism. So we'll be tracking that. All right, I'm going to bring up Fish Trucker real quick, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the history behind April Fool's Day. Hey, Fish, how are you, man?
Hey, good morning. I got two things real quick, and then drop me after that.
Okay.
First thing is Maryland protected status. Gentlemen, the White House pretty much came out and said, yeah, we screwed up and we sent someone that's not a gang member or not a criminal to El Salvador, and they can't get him back.
I know.
It's unbelievable. Second thing, next week they're having a procedural vote on getting rid of $880 billion worth of Medicaid and Medicare and all that stuff. So don't fall for distractions. That's all I got, man. Get me out of here.
Appreciate you, bro. See you later. Yeah, I saw that. There was a citizen of the state of Maryland who got swept up in the MS-13. So only the criminals are going to be shipped out, not even questioned, just sent out, and they're having a difficult time getting him back. So that's an example of what happens. Yes, today are the special elections. We've been talking about them for a very, very, very long time. I texted our friend Catherine from Gay Valamont's campaign last night, wished them luck on our behalf. I think the polls open in a little while if they're not open already. I think I want to level set on that. We'll talk about the Supreme Court seat in Wisconsin as well. The district that Gay is running in, used to be Matt Gaetz's seat, is a plus 30 Republican district. Donald Trump won that seat by 30 points. Josh Wheel won his seat. Josh Wheel is running in District 6, which was Mike Waltz. I invite everybody to Classified Conversations, Mike Waltz, that guy. That's a plus 19 seat. So these are heavy, heavy Republican districts. This is what I want you to be paying attention to as we monitor this over the course of the next day or so. Unlikely that either of those seats will flip. The polling has Josh Wheel having the best opportunity. I'm going to choose to look at this as, we've seen so much political shakeup that nothing would surprise me. But I think it's realistic to set realistic expectations, okay? Even if they don't win, right? Watch the margins. If those margins come down to single digits, or if voter turnout from Republicans is a bit suppressed and people aren't showing up, that is a massively large red flag for the Republicans and the Trump administration. Because what that is saying in these heavily red districts is that the voters there who are influential in getting Republicans elected in Florida, Trump included, have had enough. So those are the things that we should be looking at. Again, plus 30 in District 1, Gay Valamont's seat running against Jimmy Petronis. And by the way, he basically started campaigning there just 2 days ago, he being Jimmy Petronis. Carpetbagger, doesn't live there, has never lived there, had to pay a couple of $1 million, rumor has it, to Donald Trump for an endorsement, right? He is not a candidate to represent that district. Gay has been out knocking on doors, talking to veterans, talking to families that have been impacted. And I'll say this, if she doesn't win, I am so grateful that she chose to spend some time with us. We got to interview her a few weeks back. You can find that interview on my YouTube if you want. But what an amazing campaign that she's run. She's got an incredible story of loss and perseverance and dedication to her community, and she lives there and she knows those people. I think it's a true testament to people who truly do care about making an impact on the lives of their constituents when you decide to run for office. And she has not only run, she's done an amazing job. So hats off to her no matter what happens. Again, we'll be watching that. District 1, if you're in Florida today and you're listening to this and you do not show up to vote, then please don't come back and watch our show ever again. If you are an undecided voter and you're still overwhelmed and you're not sure what to do, please go to the polls and vote for Gabe Vallimont. But again, if you are a registered Democrat in that district and you watch our show every single day and you're talking about the things that you want to do and you can't bother to bring yourself to the polls, then please don't come back. If you subscribed, please cancel your subscription. Seriously, that's how important this is. Similarly, in District 6, Josh Wheel is running against Randy Fine, and the Republican Party has been dissing on him hard because he's not raising any money. He's done a lousy job raising money. He's been outraised like 4-1. There's been a couple of polls that have shown Josh Wheel either, it's a Wheel or Weil, I'm not sure, either even or slightly ahead. So polls are what polls are, right? So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And then we've got that special election for that Supreme Court seat in Wisconsin. Another big day. Wisconsin voters are motivated. With the Wisconsin Democratic Party is probably one of the best in the nation. They can really rally their voters. So we will see how that goes. Again, these are 3 really, really important elections. Watch the margins in Florida. Okay. All right. Everybody keep tapping and sharing. I appreciate you. Wow. I've been flapping my gums. Again, there's a gifting goal today. Please consider contributing to that. And don't forget about subscribing. Really, really important, as we do not know what's going to happen with TikTok after this week. If you subscribe at FactsStillMatter.site, at least to be able to stay in touch. And if we do end up going dark, we will be on YouTube. Okay? All right. So April Fool's Day. I remember one time, if I've always taken April Fool's Day seriously. With my kids, we've had snowstorms, and I found out in the middle of the night the school was canceled, and I didn't tell them, and they got up and they got ready to go out in the bus, and then I told them the school was closed. Those are innocuous. Those are minor. I remember one time when I had roommates in college, we told them that my girlfriend at the time was pregnant, and they were so happy for us, the whole 9 yards. And then we told them April Fools, and then there was a whole bunch of other sort of, I've done the duct tape, the spray nozzle on the kitchen sink thing. I've done all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a fun day. Listen, we all could use a little fun and humor in our life, but when did April Fool's Day start? Much anticipated day for jokesters and pranksters. Humorous pranks and tricks have been entertaining the world for centuries. There's nothing quite like plotting a harmless joke on loved ones. More than an average day, April Fool's Day for the pranksters and jokesters. If you need an excuse to initiate some lighthearted fun, today's the day. Many historians trace April Fool's back to 1582. Through the History Channel and the Library of Congress report, its exact origins are a bit unclear. That year, France changed its calendar system from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar. The Gregorian calendar, which is the system we now use, shows the new year is starting on January 1st. However, the Julian calendar showed the new year beginning on the spring equinox, which usually fell on or around April 1st. Many in France were unaware of the calendar change and continued to celebrate the new year during the last week of March through April 1st. These people were considered the butt of jokes and hoaxes and were named April Fools. So, others believe that April Fools derived from the Roman festival of Hilaria, which is Latin for joyful. Hilaria was celebrated at the end of March by devotees of the goddess Sybil. The History Channel reports, during the festival, followers would dress up in disguises and trick townspeople. So, typically speaking, nobody really knows. But, let's just celebrate it for what it is. All right. Keep tapping and sharing, everybody. So Cory Booker is still, in fact, still going. We'll be checking that over the course of the day today. So let's talk about a few other items that are in the news. I think that I wanted to talk about this first. I found this great. This person's by the name, her name is Liz Plank. It's Lizplank, and she's on Substack. And I found this because they talk about how, I'll just read you the article. The Trump administration is DEI for incompetent men. The Trump presidency isn't a horror movie. It's a jackass sequel, she writes. The Trump White House isn't some sinister cabal of geniuses. It's a jobs program for the profoundly unqualified, a 4-year experiment in what happens when you hand the keys of government to men who peaked in high school. Wow. And while it absolutely hurts women, it also traps good men in a world where they are forced to answer for the worst ones. The MAGA movement isn't a rebellion against elitism. It's a tantrum against merit, a last-ditch effort by underqualified men to hold on to power by discrediting any system that might measure their actual abilities. They didn't kill DEI because it was unfair. They killed it because it worked. Inclusion meant they could be replaced by someone, God forbid, a woman or a person of color, or at the very least, someone who doesn't leave their Venmo public or Signal chats like our brilliant national security advisors just did. And here's the thing. Smart, competent men are not afraid of DEI. They don't fear fair competition. They welcome it because they know they can rise on merit. They don't need to rig the system, erase the resume, or disqualify the playing field to win. Only insecure men demand a world where everyone else is held back so that they can stay ahead. So, while I know this week's news feels more dystopian than ever, it's also your permission slip to unclench. The point isn't that they're good at authoritarianism, it's that they're bad at everything else. They will fail at fascism like they fail at everything else. I don't even know if there's anything else to say. That's just the way in which, again, that's Liz Plank on Substack. If you're not over there, by the way, I'm on Substack too, although I don't post any content there, but in case you're looking to find me, I'm over there. It is so true. What's that one line that she said? Smart, competent men are not afraid of DEI. They don't fear fair competition. They welcome it. Right? This is not a defend because it's all men until it's no men. But I think what you're seeing is the absolute incompetence in the White House. And in particular, look at the people involved in the Signal chat. White men. Pete Hegseth, John Ratcliffe, Mike Waltz, Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, right? I love that they peaked in high school. Again, they don't fear competition. They welcome it because they know they can rise on merit, they being competent men. They don't need to rig the system, erase the resume, or disqualify the playing field to win. Only insecure men demand a world where everyone else is held back so that they can stay ahead. Benny says, I've seen better cabinets from IKEA. It's so true. I've seen better cabinets on the side of the road after college move-out day. That's crazy. All right, I really love the way that she put that. Speaking of incompetent white men, Seth Meyers always does a very good job of breaking things down. So, of course, we've talked about the audio recently about Elon Musk crying that Tim Walz was a meanie to me. And it's taking a lot of it's been playing well, not so well for him, but playing well in the social media streets. So this is Seth Meyers' interpretation of what Elon Musk had to say.
All the booing has clearly taken a toll on Elon Musk. After Minnesota Governor Tim Walz made fun of him for tanking Tesla's stock price, Elon went on Fox News on the verge of tears to complain that people were being mean to him.
I mean, you had Tim Walz, who's a huge jerk, running around on stage with a Tesla stock price, where the stock price had gone in half. And he was overjoyed. What an evil thing to do. What a creep. What a jerk. Like, who derives joy from that?
I think I do. Maybe.
Me too.
I mean, just like, because seriously, you're slashing nutritional aid, veterans benefits, and Social Security, and you expect us to feel bad about a stock price? I can't believe this is what happened to the your feelings crowd. They went from cry more libs to stop making me cry libs. Also, Tim Walz is a jerk. My man, when you run around with a chainsaw on stage, you're celebrating cutting jobs and benefits. To quote, I believe it was William Shakespeare, the jerk store called and they're running out of you.
I'm really, when people make fun of me and and my rocket ships and my satellites and my electric cars that blow up and my trucks that look like trash cans with wheels, and how I want to dismantle American democracy, and how I'm a racist and a Yahtzee. It really hurts my feelings. It really does. Tim Walz is a big old poopy pants meanie. I need to run to Daddy Trump and tell him how great he is so he gives me more power to dismantle the American government and harm people that I don't give a fuck about. So there's that. Yeah.
I mean, come on. Does he expect sympathy? Does he expect sympathy? Really? I guess. Anyway. All right. As you guys know, or you may or may not know, let's do this instead. Okay, we've now fully acknowledged April Fool's Day. Since there's a lot of talk about, changes to our Constitution, how about that one? Everybody want to sign up? What do you think? Right? What do you think about that? We'll just leave that right there. We were talking earlier about the TikTok deal. So Trump says TikTok sale deal to be announced before the Saturday deadline. So April 5th is when TikTok. So again, technically TikTok is banned in the U.S., right? The exception made by the Trump Justice Department with Pam Bondi. Hold on. Where is it? I gotta find it. No, not that one.
Amazing.
That one. Pam Bondi. They just decided not to prosecute and or punish those people who, the ISPs and the Apple Store and the Google Play for having the app in their store. So that's basically the deal. So Trump says TikTok sale could be announced before Saturday deadline. President, based on the bill that Congress signed, has the authority to extend that deadline, right? So, but he says he expects to announce terms on a deal with the TikTok's China-based parent company, ByteDance, to sell the popular video sharing app before a looming deadline takes effect this Saturday. Trump has until April 5th to find an acceptable buyer for TikTok after issuing an executive order delaying enforcement of federal law that banned the app unless ByteDance divested. Congress imposed the ban over fears that TikTok is a national security risk that functions as a spying and propaganda tool for Beijing. Listen, I want you guys to know, I don't think TikTok is the threat. I think it's our national security team that is the threat. That's just me. We have a lot of potential buyers, he says. There's tremendous interest in TikTok, he said. Trump told reporters late on Sunday, the decision is going to be my decision, as you know, though through Congress, they've given me the power to make the decision. I'd like to see TikTok remain alive. Trump has said he will extend the sale deadline if necessary to complete the deal. I want everybody to know that we're in good hands because Vice President J.D. Vance has been put in charge of the negotiations. So we're safe. Okay. Mods, would you guys somebody mind coming up for just a second? I just need to take a quick break. I have a story about Mississippi, who, by the way, always ranks near the bottom of federal, of corporate welfare and subsidies from the federal government. I want to talk to you about how they want to sign a bill eliminating their state income tax. But first, I want to welcome our friend Eve. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you very, very much. I'll be right back.
Yes, sir. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm here to remind you to support our fabulous hostess with the mostest. He's here every day with that fiery feral fist for freedom, bringing you facts over feelings, because facts still matter, and they always will. As well as the Facts HQ and Discord link. You can reach the HQ via FactsStillMatter.site, where we've got live sources that are referenced here on the show, community resources, as well as the recently added episode library. So it's very user-friendly to find an episode. You can view and purchase merchandise, including the new Feral as Fuck and I Am Fucking Zen coffee mugs. If you're a sub, you can get 10% off those merchandise orders. And if you aren't a sub, I just don't know what you're doing, honestly, especially if you're placing an order. You might as well sign up and get that discount. It literally pays for itself. If you're just looking for that fun free forum for the Facts family to frolic, then Discord is the place you want to be. If the link doesn't work in the link tree, try to copy and paste it into a browser or into Google. If that still doesn't work, reach out to a moderator and we'll hook you up. When you join, please open a ticket. If you need assistance getting verified, you can ask in the unverified lobby and a moderator will walk you through it. Now, if you haven't already, please click that follow or heart me up at the top of the screen next to Fax's name. You can join the team for the cost of a penny. You can do this every day and it helps keep us relevant and on the FYP. Basically, the main thing that we ask of y'all is to interact in the comments as well as tapping your little hearts out. It's always free to tap and share out the live. If you don't have any friends, just click the copy link. It works the same as a share and no one will be the wiser. Plus, our chat is positively the place that pulls pleasing people together, so make yourself some new friends. And when you have a chance, head on over to YouTube and subscribe to Facts Still Matter there as well. If you would, also like a video or two. You can rewatch shows for any information you missed, and subscriptions on YouTube are free, just like following your favorite creators here on TikTok. Lastly, be kind, smile at a stranger, and have a fuck your feelings kind of day.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you for everything. Everybody will use Eve as the model for amazing mods everywhere. So if you've ever participated in a live, watched a live, joined a live, doesn't happen without mods. So hearts in the chat for mods everywhere. Thank you, Eve. I appreciate you very much.
Oh, you flatter me so. What a wonderful way to start my day.
Have a good day. You ready? Okay. So we're talking about this being Trump being asked numerous questions about whether or not he wants to run for a third term. We have this thing called the Constitution that they don't give a shit about, but this is what he had to say when asked by a reporter in the Oval Office yesterday. Crazy.
If you were allowed for some reason to run for a third term, is there a thought that the Democrats could try to run Barack Obama against you?
I'd love that.
For his third term?
Boy, I'd love that. That would be a good one. I'd like that. No.
He just said he'd love to run against Obama. Okay.
People are asking me to run, and there's a whole story about running for a third term. I don't know. I never looked into it. They do say there's a way you can do it, but I don't know about that. But I have not looked into it. I want to do a fantastic job. We have 4 years, just about, almost close to 4 years. Time is flying, but it's still close to 4 years. And we're getting a lot of credit for having done a great job in the first almost 100 days.
Okay. So 22nd Amendment says you can't. 12th Amendment says you can't be the vice president if you've already served 2 terms. It's not going to happen. Remember, this is all part of the distraction. This is all part of the distraction so that they continue to gut benefits for veterans so they can go after your Social Security. We're hearing reports of Social Security cuts so deep that checks are being delayed going out, right? This is the reality, right? This is the reality that these kinds of draconian, ridiculous, fascist, autocratic takeover of government is having. And he wants to tell because you've already seen it. You know, you spend time in right wing lives, right? You know what it's like. Yeah, I don't know why I can't. Oh, I don't know. I think Trump should be king. He should be president forever. Why not? Just because we haven't done it before don't mean we can't. Right? Trump forever. I want my grandchildren to vote for Trump. It's fucking dumb. It's just stupid. It's just stupid that we're even talking about this. You know, literally being asked questions in the Oval Office behind the fucking Resolute desk about whether or not you want to run for a third term, while veterans are losing their benefit, while women are losing their lives, while members of the trans community are just being eliminated from our society, from the poor get poorer and the rich get richer, and he's talking about running for a third term. This is the person who's supposed to make America great again. This is the person who puts America first. Fuck you, you fucking fascist. Hey, Donald. Hey, FBI. Hey, American Department of Justice. Just wanted to say this. I'm here every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to noon Eastern time. Fuck you, you fucking Nazis. Have a good day. Okay. Somebody's requested, and we'll bring up Shay, and then we'll continue to have more conversations. Everybody keep tapping and sharing, please. Hey, Shay, how's it going?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What's on your mind?
I wanted to ask you this yesterday. I heard something about how Trump signed some kind of executive order to where only he and I think JD Vance can determine what is lawful.
It was Pam Bondi. So it was them claiming. So Pam Bondi, who's the Attorney General, the statement was that was only Trump and her can determine what's considered lawful.
And so did they sign that executive order? Like, is that in place? Because that's really scary to me.
It's a good question. I remember them talking about it. They may have. We'll look into that a little bit. There's a tracker as to the various executive orders. I'm sure my mods are going to jump in on that now, and we can report back.
Okay, awesome. And I'll be here for like the next hour, so I look forward to it.
You got it. Thank you very much. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Again, like, come on. I mean, people are suffering. His voters are suffering. Rural communities are suffering. And he wants to talk about running for a third term? Case in point, in Mississippi, the governor is planning on signing an income tax elimination bill. National experts say income tax cuts will not result in an economic boom for Mississippi. They are already upside down. Mississippi ranks near the bottom in just about every category when it comes to infant mortality, maternal mortality, education rates, poverty, government subsidies, citizens on welfare, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And now they want to vote to take away your income tax to try to convince people in the state that will be better. Yes, Cory Booker is still going. Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves signed the Build Up Mississippi Act into law, marking the largest tax cut in state history. The bill includes a phased elimination of the state income tax, a reduction in grocery sales tax, and an increase in the gasoline tax. While proponents argue the tax cuts will boost the economy, opponents express concerns about potential negative impacts on state revenues and essential services. Friends, who gets harmed when there's less revenue? Where do they go first? They go to the marginalized communities. They close schools. They close community health centers. They go right after impoverished communities so that those communities suffer the most because the people at the top, they don't give a shit, right? Critics, including economists and tax policy analysts, contend that the cuts will disproportionately benefit wealthy residents while placing a greater burden on low-income PPINs. The long-term effects of the tax cuts on Mississippi's economy and budget remain to be seen. Don't let people gaslight you into thinking that tax cuts are a good thing. Don't let them do it. Okay? Especially since every time we see a Republican legislator and or governor and or state house or Republican member of Congress talk about tax cuts, they are standing there telling you that tax cuts for the middle class is what Donald Trump is doing. It's a bold-faced fucking lie. Every single time we talk about this a lot. We've got 40 plus years of evidence about trickle-down economics, about what it does when you cut taxes, you remove revenue, right? And then you cannot replace it. There's not enough wealth. Tariffs are not the answer. It's not going to happen. They're fucking lying to you. Okay? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to show up in the special election in Wisconsin today? Someone said they've already voted early and the lines are already getting long. Are you going to show up in Florida? Are you going to phone bank? Are you going to get involved in your community? Or are you going to be lazy again? Are you going to remain apathetic? Are you going to remain entitled? Are you going to say, somebody else will take care of it. It doesn't impact me. Yeah, it does. Because if you gave a shit, you'd realize it impacts everybody. So get off your entitled ass and fucking vote and do something. Thank you. All right. Tomorrow is Liberation Day. By the way, I will not be here tomorrow, just letting my mods know. My son comes home tomorrow, so I'll be down picking him up. So I won't be here. But tomorrow is Liberation Day. And what we've seen, Liberation Day, as it's described in the Trump administration, is like Tariff Day. What we've seen in the market is the volatility based on what's coming from the Oval Office. So see if I can find the clip, because I think it's really, really important.
Phone numbers.
Hold on a second. All right. So we can, Aaron Burnett did this little breakdown about how the impact that we've seen from the tariff promises made, promises broken so far, and what it's done to the stock market. So I'll just play this audio and then we can talk about it on the other side. Everybody keep tapping and sharing, please.
Took office literally on that day. Trump has threatened and backed down and threatened and backed down on a ton of tariffs.
We're going to have tariffs on automobiles. We're going to have tariffs on steel, on aluminum, lumber, and for dairy products, copper, and many, many different things.
Many, many different things. Here's the reality. Trump has made threats about tariffs on all the dates highlighted on your.
So he threatened tariffs on February 3rd, February 10th, February 14th, March 11th, March 13th, and March 25th.
Your screen. Those are the days that he announced specific threats. He talks about it every day. Those were the days of specific threats, including a 25% tariff on car parts, a 200% tariff on alcohol. He has backed down or postponed many of these threats. And then let me flip it and show you some more dates. These are the dates tariffs have actually gone into.
So February 1st, February 4th, March 4th, and March 26th are days that tariffs actually went into effect.
To effect so far. It's head spinning because it'll be on one day, something will go into effect, but it'll take a whole bunch more back. And it's really chaotic and confusing. No one really knows what is a tariff and what doesn't. And that chaos is as destructive as the trade war itself, which may be why Trump has backed down and delayed so many tariffs up to this point, even as he says this.
I'm a big believer in tariffs. The tariffs are going to make us very rich and very strong. The tariffs are necessary because we've been treated very unfairly by many, many countries, including our friends.
Not everyone agrees, including some of the people who know the most. So when Trump calls it a rebirth, amazing, and liberation day, you may want to consider the context of Warren Buffett.
I mean, tariffs are actually, we've had a lot of experience with them. They're an act of war.
Warren Buffett says tariffs are an act of war, and they really kind of are. Trade war, but an act of war.
To some degree. The Tooth Fairy doesn't pay them.
Ha!
No, we do. We pay them. All of us.
We can draw straight lines to the performance of the stock market and other consumer indices about how there's the estimates that the GDP is only going to grow by 0.1% in the first quarter. We'll find out, right? 0.1%, that's stagflation, ladies and gentlemen. As we know, the inflation rate has hovered, it's creeping slightly up, but consumer confidence is down. The stock market is volatile. Gas prices are up. Consumer confidence is in the shitter because people aren't buying, which is driving all kinds of concern across all the markets globally. Tech stocks are down, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And this is all because of his. Listen, if your economic plan is based on tax cuts for the rich, which it is, and all these cost savings you're going to find through waste, fraud, and abuse exercises in the federal government headed up by the whiny baby Elon Musk, and then you're going to supplement that with tariffs, then fucking do it, right? Then do it. We notice why, though, he hasn't officially done it? It's because of what he's seeing. It's because of what he's seeing at these Republican town halls. It's because you're seeing, yeah, like I said this before, to what Steve said, I think he wants a recession. I think he wants it. I think that is the mechanism. We talked about this before, and I'm glad you said that. It's a good opportunity to segue into this, because think about what happened in 2008, 2009, right? Bush economic policies, deregulation of the banking industry and the auto industry, et cetera, deregulations in general drove us into a recession. We know that. The housing market crumbled. The banking industry was ultimately to blame. We know, right? Who benefited, right? The people that benefited are the people who had the most wealth to begin with. So here we are again. Stock market crashes. There are speculators out there and venture capitalist firms who hedge against the market collapsing. They will bet on stocks being shorted. They will then swoop in. So if they own 1% of the assets now, post-recession, they might own 2% of the assets. Who gets harmed? It's all of us. It's the working class. It's the serfs. It's us at the bottom, like it's always us at the bottom. And this continues. This is the transfer of wealth that we talk about numerous times. And you can see when there's an economic downturn in our nation that affects the middle class, the 98%, it's the wealth that always rises from the ashes, so to speak. Think about it, 2000, 2008, 2009. That's when you started to see the wealth gap getting wider and wider and wider and wider. Then all of a sudden COVID hits, the economy shut down, people lose their jobs, and it spikes like crazy. Why? Because the people with the most wealth and the most assets are the ones that can pick up the pieces when the world crumbles around them. They're betting on it. So I think that this is a nefarious plot, quite frankly. I don't think he's smart enough to know what he's doing, but I think the people at his cabinet, the people in his ear, the people that are chipping through the orange makeup. By the way, he's looking more and more orange every single day. I think it's those people that realize, listen, we can crash the economy, not so bad. We can crash it so that a lot of people are going to suffer, and then we can pick up the pieces. So we're the poison and the cure. So it's happening. And again, since we're talking about Barack Obama, in hindsight, I wish the government didn't have to bail out the banking and the auto industries. I get it. I get it. I understand. If you ever watch the movie The Big Short, you can see exactly what happened. It's a great movie, and this has been studied, right? About how, influential CEOs petition the government to talk about or to help to bail them out with the promise that, we're gonna pay back our customers. We're not gonna do this again. We're not gonna short stocks. We're not gonna create these bullshit mortgage programs and subprime mortgages. And they did it again. I get why we had to do it, because the entire economy would have crumbled otherwise. I get it. I get it. I think I get it. I have to be objective. I understand. I wish we didn't have to do it. It's almost like a situation. Thank you, Santana, brother. Appreciate you, friend. I wish we didn't have to do it, but we did. And we're paying we're feeling the effects now, because it will likely happen again. People, 401ks and pensions are being gobbled up. Who's on the other side? Like we tell you guys every single day, right? Follow the money. And this is a prime example. Okay. Got some more audio to play here. Let's see. This is Pete Hegseth. Speaking of moderate, mediocre men who peaked in high school, Pete Hegseth, he's recently come out with a statement regarding the Department of Defense and their policies. Of course, he doesn't believe that women should serve in combat. We know that. He doesn't believe that members of the LGBTQA community, in particular the trans community, should have anything to do with serving in combat. He believes that they're all distractions, right? So this came out on Twitter yesterday from the account of Pete Hegseth, confirmed. Different physical standards for men and women in the U.S. military have existed for a long time, but there were also combat roles that were male only. Then under Obama, all combat roles were open to men and women, but different physical fitness standards for men and women remained. Today, at the Department of Defense, we will fix this. All combat roles are open to men and women, but they must all meet the same high standard. No standards will be lowered, and all combat roles will only have sex-neutral standards. Common sense. So he says. Exactly, Dark Willow. Soldiers are the ones that are saying they're distracted. This is all part of the pitch, right? Remember, we tell you guys, this is all about the distraction. It's all about the distraction. It's all about how can we demonize everybody in our country who's not a mediocre white man? It's all men until it's no men, and it's all white people until it's none. We have this now in our nation because of white voters. Still the largest voting bloc, white men in particular. Still the largest voting bloc. And white men in particular are holding back our progress. You can look at exit polls. You can look at surveys. You can look at studies. Every other demographic, by and large, again, not every group is a monolith, but every other demographic, by and large, wants progress, wants to move our society forward, wants better schools, wants more protections for marginalized groups, wants to tax the rich, wants to tax the churches, wants to create equality, wants to promote a healthy culture, wants to promote advancements in education, except for white people, because they've been told that if you do that, you're going to lose your seat at the table. Exactly. Catering to the average mediocre white man in particular. Look, it ain't going to change until it changes. I don't mean to be so flippant about it, but it's not going to change until it changes. Right? That's why every single day I sit up here and say it's all, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. It's all men until it's no men. Plain and simple. Thank you, Felice. Nice to see you. It's all men until it's no men. It's all white people until it's none of us. Until we can start to be the leaders in this. A system built by people who look like me to benefit people who look like me. And the system is harming people. And I'm fucking tired of it. And I want change. And I'm tired of people settling for little nibbles of the apple. I want to take a big fucking bite of it. I want the whole damn thing. I want my politicians standing there in front of me, going on TV saying, I'm going to demand for universal health care. I'm going to demand that we create equality in the workplace. I'm going to demand that we have the best education in the world. I'm going to create a policy that's going to pay teachers what they should be paid. I want school districts across the country competing for teachers. I'm tired of losing jobs overseas. I get it. People are leaving because they're tired of being discriminated against. We are all stuck in this machine of capitalism. We are gears. We are gears. And when the gear breaks, they'll just find another person. They're not going to fix you. They're not going to help you. You're replaceable. They don't care. And this is why I say there's progressives and there's conservatives. Conservative Democrats, just as bad. Like sadly we learned last week, liberal men who claim to be just as bad. This is going to take courage and guts. This is going to take people like Cory Booker standing on the floor of the Senate and just saying, listen, I'm fucking sick of this bullshit. What are you going to do? You're right, Chris, it's just basic shit. Like I always joke with Erica, we talk about this kind of stuff when I claim I'm a progressive, right? The world laughs at us. We're not progressive. To be progressive as an American would be someone who wants universal health care, gun reform, better education, protections for marginalized communities, advancement in Social Security, that kind of shit. That's progressives for Americans. The world's like, progressive? Progressive? You guys pay the most in health care and you've got 42nd in outcome. Your schools are crumbling. Your poor's getting poorer. You can't feed your society. And you guys think you're progressive? Come on. Mediocre white men holding our country back. You're right. And now they want to go after PBS. PBS and NPR. Last time I checked, Elmo is not a threat. White men are. What are we going to do about it? Okay. Everybody please keep tapping and sharing. So this is Eminem speaking on his reactions to what we see. And the reason I want to play the sound from Eminem is because I think Eminem subtly bridges the gap between society and politics in his own unique way. And I think I think we need to hear, I don't want anybody to idolize politicians. I don't think you should be idolizing, people that are celebrity. I think you should be idolizing ideals and you should be idolizing causes. Like you should stand with the people who stand for the things that are important to you. Right. So this is what Eminem has to say. I've always respected him and I think it's great. So this is Eminem.
Start talking about Trump, I get too flustered in my head, and the shit that I want to say, there's too many things I want to say at once. So sometimes I start talking and I'm not able to convey the message the right way because I just get flustered and frustrated watching him play to his base that thinks that he cares about them, and it's actually the people that he cares about the fucking least. If you're talking about his core being, a majority white middle class, what I don't understand is how in the fuck do you feel like you relate to a billionaire who has never known struggle his entire fucking life? That I will say this, he talks a good one. And if you're in his base, you're a core, let's say you're going to the rallies or whatever, you watch him on TV, you hear him talking this shit, there's part of me that understands like, all right, he's somehow still got them because he's brainwashing them into thinking that something great is gonna happen. Nothing's happening. Nothing is happening.
That.
I don't know, man. I get.
Right? It's exactly the point. Like we talk about this all the time. And I see Felice in the chat and she talks about this, right? About how the impact of this kind of messaging resonates with people who are being fucking harmed the most. Credit where credit's due. He's brilliant at it. Trump. He's brilliant at it, right? Again, credit where credit is due.
Scotty go get solo share for the stop and share this. Scotty, the main man, the main master, 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 the main master. Oh yeah, master, the main master. Are you ready? Are we ready? Are you ready? Very ready. Are we ready? Everybody, ta 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 ta. Everybody, Baba me, we can use this speed. Baba me, we can use this speed. Do anything on this speed. Big effect, Toba today, Toba today, Toba today. Big effect, big effect, big effect. Everybody, any money, more money, more blessing. We know it. Big effect, wait for that thing. Baba me, Baba me, thank you so much. We can use this on SCD then go snipe. SCD, then you use that SCD, I beg. You don't go for God, must not go jam you. Thank you so much. You shall never get accident. As they do and God go bless you more. As they do and God go bless you more. You don't go lag, you shall never lag, you shall never payment. Oh yeah, some say money day.
Guys, we need to baby lion on Live Galaxy.
Wait for next game. Wait for next game, I beg. Maybe we dey kill am. Maybe we no waste coin on this game. I want this game today. DJ Papi Don, on my way.
Guys, two baby lions,
Papi Don, 1K. What you want? 961. Guys, everybody follow top one. Follow them. Follow you. Alubarika follow you. Follow you. Plenty money follow you. Follow you. Baby dey pep, big efe, no man hold no efe, big efe, them money like big efe. Everybody follow top one. Guys, click on the glove. Guys, no roses, no roses. Guys, click on the glove. Guys, click on the booster. Guys, click on the no roses, guys, no roses. Just donuts, guys. Guys, don't use roses, please. Use donut, guys. Come on, guys. Glove. Everybody, booster. Guys, click on the glove, guys. Guys, we can try. Guys, push. Boosting glove, guys. Glove. Everybody on the boosting glove, guys. Everybody on the boosting glove. Try, guys. We can push. 5 seconds, guys. My claws, guys. Thank you, everybody, guys. Thank you. Eat, Diamond. Thank you so much, Diamond. Thank you so much. PG, thank you, Laws. Thank you so much, guys. Guys, let's push, guys. Let's push. We can try, guys. Push.
Simple money. Simple money. Simple money. Big Loki money. Loki money. Everybody follow him. Everybody follow him. They money. Follow him. Anybody when they put in Loki. Money go. Loki.
Let's try, guys. Let's try, guys.
Simple. More blessings. Everybody follow them. Appreciate them. You go far. Follow far. Everybody follow top one. Follow top two. Loki. Money come. Now water. Money come. Now water. Big Efe. Olota. Nakaka.
Everybody play. Everybody play. Everybody please play, guys. Everybody please play. Diamond, thank you so much, Diamond.
Anybody boosting club. Amani boosting club. Anybody radio boosting club. Anybody boosting club. Anybody boosting club. Mr. Icon. Everybody. Big Efe. They're on the way. Everybody. Everybody.
Guys, we can do this, guys. That's right. Everybody play, guys. Guys, somebody play, guys.
Blocky money.
Guys, please, let's snipe, guys. We can snipe, guys. Focus. Hey, guys, snipe. Guys, snipe. Oh! Good things upon me soul. Bye. Diamond, wait, God over. Diamond, thank you. You have a glove. Good things, thank you. Big J, Laws, Mike. When we can tag my gifters. DJ, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Hi, enjoy Fabio.
Lyrically. Follow top 2, follow top 3. I beg. You know go as they follow them. You don't go die young. You don't go die poor. Papi don't. As they follow all the gifters, more money, more blessing, more cash, more people coming your way. As they appreciate them, God will appreciate you in anything that you do. Everybody, let's stop and share this time.
Papi don't 1K.
Faja, Papi don't. Faja, normal. Loki money, we don't Loki at all. Show them on to body, yeah. Show them on to body, yeah. Set that one big Efe. Efe money tó fẹ́ wà lá. Efe tí ó fẹ́ wà lá. Loki money tí ó fẹ́ wà lá. Gbé mi débẹ̀, gbédégbédé, wo mi tó gbé mi dé. Kàná mo ṣáà mo ti ṣe lọ́mọ mi. Pull up for the gang, pull up for the gang. That kind of thing wey dey make man dey vex. Ọmọ ológo, òkì mo fò. Ọmọ ológo, òkì mo fò. Adéníyì, Jẹ́túndé, ṣe kìíní yẹn fẹ́ ṣe má ṣe. Lírikálì, gbé mi débẹ̀. Everybody, pull up for the gang. Follow top 1, follow top 2. Everybody. Guys, we wait for times 3. Big favor, may we wait for the times 3. We can use it on the S3. We can drop anything on the S3. Everybody wait for the times 3.
Everybody follow Papi don't.
Everybody wait for the times 3.
Blessing.
Blessing, wait for the times 3.
Everybody follow all the gifters.
Why now? TikTok.
TikTok. This is power. DJ Blast. No worry. Just go like that. Maybe they go like that. Everybody follow my guitar. Follow Loki. Follow Efe. Muba. Oh yeah, let's go. Follow Papi. Follow Papi. Follow Papi. Follow Papi. Follow Papi. Follow Papi. That's my boss. More money. No man.
Guys, they're going to snipe us. So, guys, BG, thank you so much. Guys, anybody have a booster? They will snipe us. So, guys, please. Guys, snipe. Everybody snipe. See, they're sniping. Jesus, baby, thank you. They're sniping, guys, snipe. See. Diamond, guys, snipe. They will snipe. They will snipe. Thank you so much. Everybody. Thank you so much.
Guys,
come on. Diamond, Jesus,
make she no carry her winning streak go. I bet before she go run now. I bet make she no carry that winning streak.
Everybody, thank you so much.
I bet she go soon run now. No say she Lavandra.
Thank you so much, guys.
I bet me no 7 winning streaks, guys. 7 winning streaks. This one go far. I beg. I use Almighty Allah beg you. God no go shame me in anything that you doing. In anything that you are doing, God no go shame me. You shall never lie. You shall never pay me. Ogun no go jam you. Anybody will pray for your downfall shall fall. God bless you times 2 million in anything that you do. God bless you times 2 million in anything that you do.
Everybody, let's stop. Everybody, let's stop. Guys, if you are just joining, you are welcome. Everybody, let's stop. Follow top 1, follow top 2. Shout out to the big baller. Shout out to the big baller. No go die young, no go die poor. Big FA, thank you so much. Loki, we no Loki at all. Everybody follow them right now. Let's go with the vibe right now. Maybe they go with the vibe right now. Let's go with the vibe right now. Give my door, power tap. Give my door, power tap. Teko malo, koma lope, omoloko, kokimofo, kimomo dance. We go the dance, son. We go the dance, beauty. We go the dance, big FA. We go the fun.
now water. Rocky money, we don't rocky at all. Don't Pablo, big dog, don't Pablo, Jimmy Depe, everybody, Jimmy Depe, five money go, two galaxy and one money go, five money go, Amani, five money go, we can do this, one money go, two money go, three money go, big Amani, five money go, anybody, money go, everybody, one money go, two money go, three money go, Abexa, you don't go, flow, guys, one money go, two money go, five money go, two galaxy and one money go, we can do this, two galaxies, one money go, anybody go be somebody. Anybody go be somebody. Go be two poor men, no they help each other. Two big men, see they shan't each other. Awa, Otajon, so compete at people that do. Amani, Amani, pride, Amani pride, more money, more blessing. You don't go for more corporate, more big bag, more cash out. Everybody, share this time. Let's be bad.
Guys, everybody play, guys. Don't let them snipe us, guys. Don't let them snipe us. Just guys, play. Everybody play.
Pretty girl, too pretty like celebrity, too pretty. Jesus baby.
Ivy! Guys, everybody play, guys. Everybody play. Focus, guys. Everybody play. Guys, everybody play, guys. Everybody play. Watch, guys. They're sniping, guys. Let's try, guys. Push. Guys, everybody please push, guys. We don't have no gloves, guys. Can we push, guys? Please push, guys. Snipe, guys. Sharon! Guys, we have 7 streaks. Joy Bamio. Guys, snipe. Guys, little point. Everybody snipe. Guys, everybody snipe. Guys, please snipe. Snipe!
Big Efe, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ivy. Thank you, Diamond. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, guys. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We wanna party!
Yeah, Jesus, baby. We wanna party!
Hey!
Guys, appreciate your support. Thank you so much. MVP.
Thank you so much, everybody. Everybody follow the top 1 and top 2. Let's go right here, back to back. I bet maybe we win 2 before we go. 2 more before we go.
Guys, we can do this. Everybody tap. Everybody follow all.
Guys, we will take this one. Where could they go? We'll take this one. We are going. She don't want to win us. They won't win us too. We'll win this one. Let's go. Guys, let's win this one and tell us say we're not playing again. Guys, let's win this one and say we're not playing again. Guys, first give times 2. Hey, Joe, let's win this one and run. Guys, first give doubles, guys.
I can find girl. Top 2. Anything you drop is times 2. Anything you drop is times 2.
Times 2. Anybody you
anything you drop is times 2.
Guys, the first give times 2, guys. Guys, the first give times 2. Guys, first give times 2, guys. Guys, first give times 2, guys. Let's just win this one and go. Guys, first give times 2.
Like everybody follow it 3,000. Everybody why follow everybody follow.
I swear if we play together, guys, we can win this one. Guys, let's just win this one and go. Let's just sky. We should not win this 2-0. Hey, Joe. Guys, we have the speed. I just pray it's just numbers. It's roses. Guys, doubles, guys. Tap some roses, guys, please. Roses. Guys, just 9 roses. Cool things. Guys, everybody, last game, guys. I promise. Let's just win this one and go.
5 more rows. 5 more rows. Anybody? 4 more rows from 4 gifters. 3 more rows. 1 more rows. Number 1, we no go for Mrs. Success. Up way. More people. We make shout out to the big baller.
Guys, doubles. Guys, play. I don't think we have any gloves, guys. Play on the doubles, guys. Please play on the speed. I don't think we have any gloves, guys. Play on doubles. Guys, doubles. Sharon, thank you. Guys, let's play on doubles, please, guys. Let's use the speed. Vahi. Guys, can we play on doubles, guys? Guys, play on doubles, guys. Everybody play on doubles. Hey, Joe. Guys, play on doubles. Sharon. Guys, please use the speed. Let's win this one. Run, no. Guys, doubles. We don't have gloves, guys. Let's use the speed. Everybody try push, guys. Please push, guys. Speed. Everybody, please play doubles, guys. Use the speed, guys. Speed. Hey, Joe. Cuties. What could they run with this one? Oh, Cuties. Sharon. Guys, doubles, guys. Don't let them snipe. Don't let them say, bye. Guys, last game, oh, guys, let's go, hey, Joe, help me, oh.
Mark, Elizabeth, everybody,
we win this one. We'll win this one and just PM.
Number one guitar, money,
That's one win, someone could run. 2K. We run away. Guys, win this one, we won the game. We'll tell them bye-bye. We'll not play again. Guys. No, don't let them snipe. Guys, tap. Some people should assist with tapping. Hey, Joe.
Anybody with your boosting club. Anybody with the boosting club. Maxi with the boosting club.
We win this one, we run away. Hey, Joe. Snipe. Guys, stop. Excuse me, like, we could win this one, we run away, guys. Snipe. Hey, Joe. Empa me, yo. Guys, hey, Joe, guys, snipe. Lucky, thank you. Guys, hey, boy, guys, snipe. Hey, Joe. Empa me, snipe. Thank you so much, Kuti, Sharon, Rai.
So much.
Thank you so much.
More money. Last game, we talked
Nah,
two.
lie, I don't play. Nah,
Wait,
lie,
now two
lie,
we
lie.
talk.
Yes,
Now two we
I
talk.
don't say two. I
We
said
said
last
two.
game. No, you not here. I said last game.
When
you not hear
we
me.
said two, this is last game.
Nah, me, I tell you, say last
Oh,
game.
yeah,
We dey do
just
koko. Nah,
last
lie.
We go play this last game.
Nah, I don't play again. I say, you don't hear me. I say last game.
Now
Bye.
you know hear waiting we talk.
Now you not hear me.
As we know hear you, we know hear you. So we
You
dey
not
on
hear
draw.
me.
You know hear we know hear you, and we self know hear you.
Now we not hear each other. Now we dey hear each other last game. Pa mi o.
Oh yeah, last game.
No, I not play last game. My own. Oshe.
Top one ló fi ń ṣeré.
Efe
ló fi ń ṣeré. Last game on the first game. Last game and first game.
You not hear. I
Let's
say
board
last
game.
game. I say last game.
Hello, Mom Sandra. Can you listen? Hello, pretty girl.
Pretty boy.
Hello, fine girl. Fine girl, Sandra. Body like Sandra, Benede. Jackie, Sandra Snare. Shout out to Snare. Sandra Snare.
Good things. Should I play? My people say last. They say they don't tire. Say what could they go?
We go meet for night, but play last game.
No, my people say I not play again. They say man not. They say that Utre say I not play. I not go lie you now. They say that last game DM.
Bye
bye. Oshe.
We win the one.
Exactly. Oshe. Binu. Ebanu.
That girl.
Oh, I mean they call her Ejo. Femile. Femile.
You go dance. Oh yeah. Do namaste before we go. Stand up and do namaste. Do like this.
Femile.
Hey, say namaste, everybody.
It's not last. You know here. I said
namaste. Namaste.
I say last game before. You know hear the English.
We said talk say na 2 game. You say no year. So we got a day on draw.
I tell you say last game. What you say?
Alhamdulillah for everything. Thank God for life. Alhamdulillah.
Big event. Thank you so much. Everybody make sure you are correcting the evidence. Follow top 1, follow top 2, follow them.
Say namaste.
I don't talk anything what I not sabi. You want me to
namaste means oh yeah, sorry guys.
That's Indian
because
language.
We tell them this is the last game already.
It's Johnny, female.
As you have fans there, we also have people here. So
we tell them. Telling you what you tell me say you want play. I can't say last game. You know, you said
like that time when we
last game.
Last time when we beat you, we don't say 2 game more.
Yes.
Female Joe. Bye bye.
Emergency.
Now because if you don't play this one finish, we say one end line.
You say what way they do you? Bye bye. Thank you so much, guys. Don't run me streets. I'm first on them streets. They wanted to run me streets. If they play that game before, they win before they go say, "Oh, to Los Angeles." First to do in this life, you have to be smart. Don't run me streets, guys. Oh, I should add Mogo. Oh, okay. Let me see. Merge in 1 hour. Mogo is not available for me to add. Guys, thank you. Anyway, please follow my gifters, guys. Let me reply to my baby girl. Hold on. Guys, please follow my gifters, guys. Is that Shad Mogo? Mogo is not available now. Guys, follow Cool Things, guys. Follow BG. BG, thank you. Follow Solo. Guys, let me answer to Jarvis. 1 second.
Hello, come closer to mommy. Dance and ask for you money. Shake that ass for me. Now I spread for God, you see. Let me confess my life, it did. Compress the back, it did. Over and top of the fresh, it did. Hello. I'm not communicate. Do you understand? I need you around. You wanna follow my eye? Malian dance, Malian twerk, Malian cassette de Shumalia, Malian tie, Malian happy, Malian tie like a force. No need to buy to that, Magadola, buy to that, Magadola, buy to that, Magadola, Magadola, Chaza, Bopata, phone number, my number, Jumbo,
Money.
Hey, Big Sandra.
How are
Big
you?
Sandra. Big Sandra. Big
Eh?
Sandra. My
Which
mommy
happened?
in the Malian's house. Yeah.
How far?
I'm good though. I'm good though. I'm good though. I'm so happy that I sent you request and you accepted me.
And
I'm
I
so
was
happy.
saying people, they say what happened to you?
Tell me, na
Eh.
just small matter jare. Na one baba we we don't do this. They won't use me. They can't dey. I don't know. That day I don't drink. I don't know say I go eat that thing. Now this egbon they push me. All this foolish egbon.
I don't
But I
understand.
don't
They see
come
that
back
arrest
shy.
you. I don't understand. With the arrest you.
Help me thank God say I no celebrate my birthday inside that place. But I'm back, sha. Everywhere good.
They arrest you. What are you doing me to arrest you?
They talk say
No, I dey call my guy, Pella.
okay, they talk say I hit someone with bottle on neck. They talk I'm new.
Hey, yeah. Sorry.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Today is my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much, Sandra.
Eh?
Today, once it is 8 o'clock, I'm going to let people know who is my girlfriend.
Okay.
You know, say I never upload my girlfriend before.
Eh.
The way you are seeing me, am I okay like this?
You're okay there.
I supposed to get girlfriend now. See that small boy Ojo, him too don't get girlfriend now.
Okay.
And now,
Okay.
tell herself she get Jarvis.
So you say one girlfriend?
Yes, now as our president, have you make me to have someone.
Okay. Good for you. I wish you all the best.
Amen. In Jesus' name.
Uh-huh.
Amen. Fire.
Okay.
Tonight, I want to host just small party on TikTok Live.
Okay.
I want people to know who really Money is.
Okay.
And someone is going to come to my life and give me something precious that I never received in my life. Something huge.
Okay, somebody's gonna come. Okay. Okay.
Yes, on the TikTok Live, he's going to gift me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. Also,
you want to talk to someone, Abi? Are you busy?
No. Who be the person? I dey hear you.
Yes, I'm going to. The person is going to come to my life. He's going to show himself.
Okay.
And also, my girlfriend too wants to surprise me.
Okay, your girlfriend is pregnant.
No, blood of Jesus. Which one is pregnant? Okay.
Sorry.
Wow.
See, okay, want to surprise you that. What's happened now?
No be pregnant. You no pray for that one for now. You go now money I dey find now.
Okay,
Pregnant
sorry.
now disturbance now.
Okay,
Don't
not
you?
okay,
I'm
not
still a small boy.
Okay.
My girlfriend wants to surprise me tonight. She wants to showcase me some things. She wants to surprise me. Although I never celebrate my birthday before, she wants to celebrate it for me for the first time.
That's nice. I'm happy for you. I'm really happy for you.
Are you sure you're happy for me?
Yes.
Wow, I'm so happy. My mommy is happy for me.
Are you your mommy?
You are my mommy now. Don't you know?
I don't know.
Are they crazy? Why I go to find out mommy? Why you did?
Since where money?
Since when I was Malian's firstborn.
Okay, you're Malia's firstborn.
Hey now.
Okay.
So you don't know.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know today.
There's something where we say you don't know inside my alliance. I will tell you today.
Okay.
So you know, say Zinoliski is our prince.
Okay.
I am son of the prince.
So that's Zinoliski born you.
Now my daddy born me now. Can't you see say I resemble him?
Ah! Ogmakwayo, who you resemble? Who you resemble? Who you resemble?
Me self, I don't know say I resemble Zinoliski. Now so I go buy Eko and Akara one day. Now so one mama come tell me say, money, why did you resemble Zinoliski so much with your mouth?
Okay, close your mouth. What did they talk? Resemble with Zinoliski. Where you as the that's what Zinoliski nose be. That's your nose be like bucket.
No be me talk now someone tell me. Now one mama where I go buy Eko and Akara for my place. She tell me say I resemble Zinoliski with my mouth and everything. Say dark in color, dark skin guy.
That skin guy, you don't see your head. You know that's your head be like, but I don't want to. That's but still, I mean, we cannot talk pidgin again. TikTok. I mean, that's your head be like basket.
My life be like my head is the most precious head in the world.
All right, I hear you.
Because I am the firstborn of Malians. Malians for life. MD, bad dog. You don't know what I'm saying, but me I know.
I understand what you just talk very well.
Oh yeah. You understand? Oh yeah, tell me if you understand.
I love you talk am.
Talk am.
I love you talk am.
Because you don't understand. You are just playing.
I understand that now. I get off my phone, save that part. Now I haven't said it on my phone. I have it on my phone. That's
Hey. But Sandra, you do me one thing which I don't like. I lie. I have been wanting to come to your life, but anytime I come to your life, I used to forget. I don't know why.
Yeah, talk. Now you are here.
You told me one day that Nera talk about me.
No, I showed you, but you have to calm down. You they misbehave. You need to calm down. You can't go and seem like this.
I did misbehave.
Yes, you can't go and seem like this.
Not my fault.
And now you go calm down. When your head calm down, you go feel meet all those people now. You they misbehave. You need to calm down. I'm not gonna lie you.
Okay, once I calm down now, I go feel meet all these people.
Yes.
But she can have seen the video before and he no calm down.
I don't know my own problem with that, but my people, you have to.
My own problem. Everybody get their own problem. Where they solve?
Yes, my people, you have to calm down.
You fancy me, but me, I know they fight again. You, I don't tell me say make I calm down. If I want to see big people, so I know they fight again.
Maybe
I want to take my life. Huh?
No, I'm thanking my subscriber. Yeah, you have to calm down.
I have to calm down now.
Yes.
Do you know Bankuli?
Bankuli?
Yeah, Bankuli.
No, not food.
Bankuli na food ike.
What do you mean Bankuli?
Bankuli.
I don't be Yoruba now. I don't understand Yoruba.
This is not Yoruba matter. Bankuli is a person. No, puku.
Oh.
No lafu.
I don't know.
Bankuli set àwọn Abu Ebel.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
He's one of the OGs in the industry. I'm OG Whiskey.
Okay.
He came to my life around last week and he advised me. He told me to focus on my music, not Faja. Faja won't last long.
That's what I'm saying, that something about Faja is that this TikTok, and not be everybody understand Faja as a cruise. Some people when not get that kind of lifestyle, when not experience that kind of thing, they'll feel like disrespect. So not be everything with the Faja. Our word, some parts like barely knows what Faja is. Then outside the world, all those Americans, they don't know what Faja is. Different. It's kind of respect. Then again,
Like
everybody wants.
you too, you don't really know Faja too much.
Yes, I try to avoid it now. Yes, I'm trying to avoid it now because
there's one
they record you. They record you. You go enter some kind of places. They will turn out to something else. So you have to be careful on this TikTok.
Have to be careful.
You have to choose what you want.
That's why
you have to choose what you want. Do you want to really monetize your page, or you want to make your fans happy? You have to choose. You can make your fans happy, laugh, and still be responsible.
Like Pella, right?
Exactly.
Make your fans happy and still be responsible. Wow. That's why I choose you as my mommy. You always advise me.
But you know the year.
I dey craze. I don't go here. You know to say I don't find small. I be still ugly.
I don't say you ugly. You just you need to maybe what they take. You need to calm down. You need to be sober. You need to calm down.
I don't take anything again. Okay. If I take calm, if you see me kill me, how you gonna kill me? I don't take anything again. I don't loyal. For my life, I don't loyal. All these things, now they make me fragile anyhow. They talk anyhow on TikTok. I just they break culture up and down. That's so police call arrest me on live. With all these things beside the cake.
They say don't be true. Say you plan now. But it's all good. My money is your birthday. Don't be sad. Celebrate your birthday.
Yes, today is my birthday. I don't want to talk anything about.
How many years you go be for your birthday?
I don't want to say it here to my mom. I want to say it once it is 8 o'clock for my life.
Okay. All right now. You celebrate your birthday. So no, what did you say for me? Do me anything.
No, I say I'm sorry because you are my mommy. I supposed not to be hiding anything for me. If to say it is not on TikTok.
Leave me. Which will be mommy? Stop, Jai.
You be my mommy. You know to say me too. I big one now. Now this thing you use bomb me now.
What if it is? I beg.
No, I know be master now. See me, I big small. Now your this thing way big, make me too big. If I know if this is not big, means I don't go big now.
My money. Trending boy.
Ma.
They calm down.
See. So like
They calm down. They calm down.
Me, I don't calm down. If I misbehave again, maybe not kill me. See, there was even one guy we say I go now. No be guy na baba. We say I go blessing on TikTok. My eyes see this thing. I go faja for him. I don't know say na person we get faja. I go faja for.
Me, I not get power for that one.
Members of the LGBTQI community and every marginalized community out there, you don't give a fuck. So pack your shit, get the fuck out. I'll make it easy for you. I'll even help you pack. Get the fuck out. Just go. Just leave. I don't care how you do it. I don't care. I'm sick and tired of listening to you complain. You privileged mediocre white man, fuck you and your bullshit. Pack your shit and get the fuck out. Don't care. Don't want to have a conversation with you. Don't care about your feelings. Get the fuck out. Leave. You hate it so much. You hate your country so much. You criticize it so much. You complain so much. pack your shit and go. Get the fuck out. You're not going to fight for democracy. You're not going to fight for the rights of others. You're selfish. You're scared. You're weak. You're soft. Pack your shit and get the fuck out. Just go. Don't care. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Get the fuck out. Okay. Let me see what else I have here that I wanted to play. We talked about that. We talked about this. We talked about that. I don't want to touch on that just yet. Box is open if anybody wants to come up and chat. I know we've touched on a lot of things today, but we got a lot going on. You know, Cory Booker is still going, by the way. He's probably going to go all day. Who knows? But I think it's just amazing that someone who doesn't get talked about a lot, because Cory is a status quo Democrat. I got to be honest with you, and I'm kind of done with status quo Democrats. Remember what we talk about, friends? If you learned anything from our show, for me, I'm only going to speak for myself. There are progressives and there are conservatives. And that means that there are conservatives that are hung up on the Democratic Party as well, because a lot of them are taking the same money that a lot of the Republicans are taking, because this is about dollars and cents, right? You are either for advancing our society or you're for holding it back and keeping it safe and cozy under your blanket of privilege. Stick your thumb in your mouth, put another log on the fire, watch your reruns of Maude, and shut the fuck up. I want progress. I want society to move forward. I'm tired of uniformity, inequality, and exclusion. I truly want a society that respects the rights of others. I'm not asking for anything more. So with that topic, I want to play some sound that I found yesterday that I didn't get to. I think this speaks a lot to the constant assaults and attacks and diminishing marginalized groups, because the people in charge of that are the ones that are in the ear. I should say the people behind the pushes to diminish and marginalize are in the ear of the administration. They're trying to do this because they see equity as a threat. They see diversity as a threat. They see inclusion as a threat, right? Let me see if I can find it, because I think it's a really good clip. Hold on a second here. Let me see if I can find it. I've got it someplace. Got so many things I have to go through. You guys have no idea the amount of shit that pops into my head. And my mod team is great, trying to keep me focused. But I'm going to play this. This is I don't have the name in front of me. I'll find it. But this is telling about what we just discussed, about how people think people wanting equal rights is somehow more than, okay?
The LGBTQ flag or Black Lives Matter flag, you think these are political viewpoints? You follow the same sentiments?
Yes.
Can you please expound on that if possible?
Well, they're political because they exclude members that are not part of those organizations. So the LGBT flag promotes a specific viewpoint that there should be special rights for LGBT people.
Did you hear that? So someone wanting to fly the BLM flag or the Pride flag means in his mind that they want special rights. Okay.
Which is a political viewpoint.
Special rights or equal rights?
No, special rights.
Special rights.
Correct.
Special rights, not equal rights. Special rights.
So no equal rights?
No, we believe in equal rights. We don't believe in special rights.
You don't believe in special rights?
Correct.
Okay, and your organization is?
The Christian Family Coalition.
All right, so with the Christian Family Coalition, as it pertains to the political viewpoint, if someone was to put up a flag, I remember when I was in school, there was a flag with the cross at the top of it. It used to be right under the American flag. You wouldn't approve of that, would you?
Well, I mean, like the current there's a Supreme Court case right now that
no. I want to know, when I was in school, there was the American flag and there was the Christian flag right under it. You wouldn't agree with that, would you? You would want that flag down.
The Christian flag is not a political flag. It is a religious flag.
So for a group of people, right?
Oh, did you catch that? It's not a political flag. It's a theological flag. Okay, got it. An ideological flag. Got it.
It basically it honors God. So we would not oppose a Christian flag. The same thing as basically anything the Ten Commandments, anything to do with religion would be fine.
will be fine, but not any other flag. So the Ten Commandments and everything else is cool, but everything else is a no-go, yes?
I believe the way that the bill is written is appropriate and it excludes political flags.
So excuse me, Mr. Chair, as I do this. So you are okay with a child who, let's say he or she is Jewish or Muslim, and they have the Ten Commandments up, the Christian flag are up, and the Christian flag is directed at a group of children that excludes the Jewish child and the Muslim child. You're okay with that, right?
I don't believe that would be, it wouldn't exclude. So
it doesn't exclude?
No, I don't believe it excludes it because I mean, if you're talking about religion and the religious message is all inclusive.
Okay.
So that was part of this bill in Florida. You heard Sherman Jones, who I've seen speak before. He was the person questioning this horrible person about this pride flag ban in Florida. Right. And this is an example of what we discuss every single day. Hey, mods, would somebody mind popping in real quick? I got to take a quick break. My bad. I'm going to do a little something here. But if anybody is available to come up and just hold down the fort for a second. If not, I'll just be, hold on a second. I've got mods going to do it. Thank you. I'll be right back, everybody. Sorry.
Sorry, I had to restart my app. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day so far. At least it feels super early. Anyways, while I sit here doing my super exciting liberal job, I am up here to let you all know that we need to be tapping that screen. I want to see us get up to 150K for them likes, but by the end of this live, I'd like to see us at least 200K. Let's get them shares going. Hop on over to FactsStillMatter.site where you can subscribe. It's $3 a month. Sorry, I haven't had enough coffee yet. It's $3 a month to subscribe. Words are hard. Or you have the option for an annual subscription. Being a subscriber gets you some awesome perks like a discount in the merch store, access to sub-only events in the Discord. If you'd like to join the Discord, the link is in Steve's bio. It's an amazing community over there. Words are still really hard.
Thank you, Moth, for that last minute announcement. I appreciate it.
Well, I saw, were you trying to invite me up a little bit ago?
Just now. I literally just sent you the invite.
My app glitched out really hard, so I had to like exit and reboot the app because I saw it, but I couldn't hit the accept button. I was like, oh shit.
I just changed my vitamin regimen and it's messing with my system for sure. But thank you for jumping in last minute. I really appreciate you.
You're welcome. I'm going to go drink some more coffee because clearly I need it.
Okay. I'll see you later.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye. Okay. I've got a request. Everybody, please keep tapping and sharing. Visionary Girl, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. What's on your mind?
I was just listening to that last clip you played, and everything you've been saying about how they just want to tear down marginalized communities. It's disgusting.
Yep.
I'm a Black person with a visual impairment, and it's crazy how, like, as a person who grew up having the opportunity to go to a special education private middle school and high school, it's crazy how they want to defund things and just take it away because they don't understand how useful to a lot of people it is. And like for me, I'm looking to go to college, and I'm like, you guys are doing all this, but the price of college is almost like $100 and something thousand. Like, you guys could do a lot better than that.
Yeah. I mean, the reason that I bounce around between topics, I think to me it's all related because unless in Trump's America and in the Christian Nationalist America, unless you are a white, straight man of faith, you don't have a seat at the table.
Exactly. And that really irks me because it's time that kids get a chance to see themselves. And I'm glad that it's coming, but it's like, I heard a story yesterday that kind of made me mad. They want to investigate Disney and their DEI. Disney is supposed to be the most woke company. They are known for that. And I'm like, why you guys, and I understand that they don't care about it, but leave it alone. If you don't care about it, leave it alone. You don't have to understand it. It's not about you.
No, Exactly. That's exactly right. So this, like we said, I am so sick and tired. And thank you for jumping in, friend. I appreciate you for being here today. You have a lovely
No
day. Thanks for
problem.
joining us. See you later.
See you later.
I'm tired of mediocre white men telling women what to do. I'm tired of mediocre white men wanting to eliminate the LGBTQI community from existence in our country. I'm tired of mediocre white men wanting to suppress the vote of the BIPOC community. I'm tired of white men fucking complaining about everything when you've literally been, you're responsible for this shit. I'm so fucking tired of it. I am so tired of it. I am so tired of mediocre white men holding back society. All men until it's no men. It's all white people until it's no white people. Again, like I said, the reason I bounce around from these topics, to me, they're all the same. Because it's an autocratic, theologically suppressing movement that wants to diminish the rights of everybody who doesn't look white, who doesn't present as white, who is not a male, who is not Christian, and who is not straight. Unless you're in those categories, you don't matter in Trump's America. You just don't matter. Not even Trump's America, in the theological Christian nationalist America. You don't matter. You don't even really, rich would help, but you don't even need to be rich to get at the seat at the table. Because they'll use the poor white men to prop up their hate. They will use the poor white man to tell them that doesn't matter how poor you are, you're still better than any black person out there. You're still better than any gay person out there. We'll tell you, even though we will mock you and we will use you to pass laws, policies, and agendas that will harm you. They don't fucking care. They want to enrich themselves on the back of everybody else. I am sick and tired of mediocre white men keeping our country from progressing. I'm sick and tired of mediocre white men telling the rest of us how we're supposed to live. Tired of it. I want to just check on this Florida special election, see what kinds of updates we might have. Let's see. So there's reporting from Newsweek that talks about Randy Fine's chances of losing the Florida special election, according to the polls. Republican Florida Senator Randy Fine is at risk of losing, according to some polls. Again, this was a plus 19 district. Why it matters, even if Wheel does not win Tuesday's special election in Florida, Democrats argue that overperforming in the race would indicate the party is on track to retake control of the 2026 midterms. I hate it when I'm right. Told you. See, this is what the pollsters are watching too. Even if he doesn't win, if that margin goes from 19 points down to single digits, then that is not a good sign. I know a lot of people on this app, let me see how I want to say this. A lot of people in this space believe that there's not going to be any more elections. I'm not there yet. I am not there yet. I know that in an executive order recently introduced by the Trump administration to allow the federal government to take over federal elections, which is, again, anti-constitution, because we know that states run federal elections. I know, Felice, if you're still out there, states' rights, brothers, right? States' rights for thee, but not for me, or states' right for me, but not for thee. States run federal elections. So what they want to do is they want to change that so that they can dictate, how these federal elections are won. He wants to change the amount of time you can vote early. He wants to have mail-in ballots stopped being counted at midnight on election day. All these kinds of things. I know there's a lot of people who are saying that there's going to be no more elections. I'm not there. I'm not there yet. I will say this though. If Democrats and people who are progressive, right, wanting to move society forward, if you don't show up, if you become fucking entitled again, if you pull your same old fucking bullshit, then that's a very strong likelihood. If you're a protest voter and you decide that you can't bother with democracy, then you can join our comrades who support Russia, get on the train with them and get the fuck out. Don't need you. You're part of the problem too. Whatever group you represent. You're a protest voter. You didn't show up. You're an entitled leftist. You didn't bother. Then you can hop on board the express to the Kremlin. Get the fuck on the train. Get the fuck on the bus. Get the fuck on the plane and get the fuck out. Really sick and tired of having to carry you. Go. Leave. Pack your shit. Good morning, friend. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Hi, Hill.
Steve. How are you?
I'm doing okay. What's on your mind?
I wanted to chime in here. You were talking about the flags and just the oppression of the marginalized, and just a quick point. You were mentioning PBR a little while ago, and I had to laugh because that's one of the best-selling beers at our store because it's cheap as fuck. It's like $5.39 for a 6-pack. And
Don't get me
so
wrong. When I'm camping, that's my go-to beer. No doubt about
I
it.
hear you. I hear you. I'm just saying because I just thought it was funny. Your PBR, because
Yeah.
so many people drink that shit.
Yeah.
But I wanted to come up just because you know, where I live. Or maybe you remember or not, but I mean, I live in northern New Mexico in a
Yeah.
pretty liberal little progressive town, probably one of the most progressive Southwest communities. Um, our I mean, ever since I can remember, the LGBTQIA plus community hasn't been. I didn't notice it, I guess. I mean, I've always received like microaggressions and things like that. But a few weeks ago, I just want to share a story with you. I take my dog to the dog park every morning, and we have this like routine. And I stop at the same gas station, and I was walking in, and there was a man walking out, and we kind of misgauged like who was going to walk through the door first. We ended up both walking through the door at the same time, and we like bumped into each other. And I had never seen him before. Of course, probably a mediocre white man. And he turns around and he says, "Watch out, you fucking dyke. This is Trump's America." And it caught me so off guard. I couldn't even really
F1 in
say
the chat,
anything.
everybody. I hear you. I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to make a point. Don't know.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Sorry about
F1 in the
that.
chat, everybody. It's okay. It's okay.
My bad.
Gotcha.
I bought a vacuum from the TikTok shop. I love it. It's pretty rad. And so I just wanted to share that story because I know that people probably receive so much more harassment and bigotry and transphobia and homophobia in other states. But what's wild to me is that I guess, and maybe not, maybe it's not that surprising that it's happened here. And just because it's something that I've never really experienced outright. Like I said, the microaggressions happen all the time. And so what happened to me yesterday is, I'm not like I create a tiny bit of content. It's mostly revolving around being louder about my community and that we're not going to be quiet and stuff. And some fucking troglodyte made it to my page and basically commented on one of my pin posts, like an unaliving threat that he will, eliminate me and make it so that it seems like I've never existed. And so I made a reply video to him and he's just, and here it is. It's just this emboldenment and this like permission slip that's been signed for outright bigotry. And it's disgusting, man. And I appreciate you shining a light on it every day. I listen to you every morning, and I'm also a recovering addict, and so I've been listening to your journey with your son. And what I can say about my journey, I've been clean for 17 years, and my family support has been the most important support that I've gotten. Is that they've been like a foundation for me on top of, the fellowship that I attend to help keep my addiction arrested, so to speak. So anyway, I just wanted to send some love your way. And if anybody in the community wants to come to my page, check it out and help me drag this motherfucker, just because I think he deserves it, that would be much appreciated. So anyway, I love you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for letting me come up, Steve. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Hill. I appreciate you very much. You have a good day. Be safe out there.
You also. Thank you.
I love that part of the world. I'm a huge fan. I don't know if you ride motorcycles, as you guys know, I ride motorcycles. I really believe that all the roads in Arizona and parts of New Mexico were designed by people who ride motorcycles because they're wide. They've got big shoulders. They're naturally bermed in some cases. There's no potholes. There's no residue of salt. It's like beautiful fucking part of the world. So thank you, Hill, for being here. I appreciate you very much. All right. Listen, I just want to make it very, very, very clear, right? That our society is not going to progress just because of the next election. Our society is not going to suddenly get universal health care, right? Our society is suddenly not going to wake up and realize that it is the the elite, the 1%, the 5% among us who are mocking people who are not the 1%ers. It's not going to change overnight, right? It took the right 40 years to get here, right? It took them that long. They played the long game. They played the long game. It was by design. They were patient. They bided their time. They waited for people from like Mitch McConnell who could reshape the judiciary. And then they lucked into Donald Trump because of apathetic voters, Russian election interference, misinformation, paid operatives, lies, deceit, corruption, and gullible Americans. And then they got the whole fucking, they got everything they could have asked for, right? So, if you're invested and you care about the future and you care about a society that is better, never great. No, not great. America has never been the greatest country on earth. The U.S. has never been the greatest country, not even fucking close. But if you want progress, then you got to be in it for the long game. You've got to vote every election. You've got to change the numbers from 60% of our voting base to 65, to 70, to 75% of our voting base. America, the United States of America, by and large, believes in universal health care, women's rights to their body, taxing the rich, better access to public education, improved infrastructure, resources, propping up marginalized communities, investments in the social contract. That's what the majority of our country believes in. It's mediocre fucking white men who say no, because they've been told that if they get universal health care, then that means black people are going to get it too. And they don't want that to happen. And if they get access to higher wages, that means that the trans community is going to get it too. And they don't want that. That means if they have access to more affordable housing, then the gay couple also has access to affordable housing. And they don't want that. Mediocre white men holding back our country. I think it's a long time overdue that fucking changes. So, white men, what the fuck are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Our black brothers and sisters, especially black women, every fucking time, we ask them to step in and defend democracy, they do it. And where the fuck are you, mediocre white men? Where the fuck are you, white men? We had to call out one of our own this week, and I'll do it again. I don't give a shit who you are. To be honest, I don't care what community you represent. If you can't vote for progress, then you're on the list. Move society forward. What are you afraid of? Why are you afraid of, because I believe in this theory that all boats rise. If we do better as a society, that means we all do better as a society. Instead, you want to villainize immigrants? You want to villainize the poor? You want to villainize the LGBTQA community? You want to villainize women? What the fuck are you afraid of, you mediocre, pitiful white man? What the fuck are you afraid of? You have every fucking privilege imaginable. And don't miss me with your fucking bullshit that you had a hard life. You have no idea. So if you are in the chat today, or if you've ever seen any of my videos, or if you're just scrolling by and you're triggered by that, I don't give a fuck. Don't care. Be triggered. Because Victoria says, sit in your discomfort. Sit in your stink. Sit in your filth. Wake the fuck up. Just because generations of mediocrity in your family has told you to continue to vote against the rights of others, just because that's been the pattern in your family, just because you've been told your Southern heritage was about states' rights, are you going to be the first one to break the cycle? Just because you diminish people who have to take advantage of social programs while you're taking advantage of social programs? just because you blame women, you say that women shouldn't spread their legs. Meanwhile, members of your community, weak, marginalized, mediocre white men, are the ones that are the most likely to commit crimes against women? Right? Are you going to do anything about it? Or are you just going to stay in the same? You criticize the things that you're responsible for. And then you elect a man who tells you that it's everybody else to blame. And he's laughing at you. He's mocking you. His Christian nationalist cronies are standing there laughing at you, saying, we fooled you. We fooled you again. We fooled you. We don't want you to know that the BIPOC community works 5 times harder than you do. We don't want to let you know that marginalized communities are the ones that are propping up our society. We don't want you to know that the BIPOC community are surpassing you from an education perspective, from a success perspective. We don't want you to know that women are better leaders. We don't want you to know that women run the world. We don't want you to know that, because if we let you in on the secret, then our entire game is gone. Then it's over. The bubble bursts. Instead, they just want you to stay dumb. They want you to stay poor. They want you to think that everybody is out to get you and your mediocre fucking white privilege. Kind of done. Like, I'm just like, I'm having a conversation with my daughter last night about this topic. They're studying Manifest Destiny right now. And I'm like, so what's the common thread? She's like, racism. I'm like, yep. Are you having those conversations? Those of you who claim to get it, right? Those of you who claim to get it. Are you addressing it? Are you having those uncomfortable conversations? Are you having conversations with your young men, finding out who's influencing them? Because it ain't going to change unless you do something about it. White men have to be calling out other fucking white men. Why the fuck are you not doing it? What are you afraid of? If you're in your 50s in particular, you've got more road behind you than ahead of you. So you're going to make the difference? Are you going to change? Are you going to try to flip the script so that people in our society that have been diminished because of bullshit mediocre white men for so long can have a seat at the table? Or are you going to fall into the uniformity, inequality, exclusion trap? Because what's the opposite of DEI? What's the opposite of diversity, equity, inclusion? Uniformity, inequality, exclusion. Period. What the fuck are you going to do? I'm tired. I'm fucking exhausted. I am tired. I'm tired of listening to it. I'm tired of watching it. I'm tired of being in it. I'm tired of just fucking ignorance dominating the airwaves. Hatred, vitriol, persecution of marginalized communities. I am fucking tired of it. Tired of it. Why aren't you? Why aren't you? Why aren't you doing something about it? Why are you demanding better? Why aren't you doing that? Why are you settling for scraps? Why? Why are you saying that the minimum wage, if we raise the minimum wage, then that's going to cause prices to go up? Who fucking cares? First of all, it's not true. You don't even know the history of the minimum wage. Government policies post-depression, because the government said, listen, we've got to find a way to help our citizenry get out of this debt. So we're going to create a minimum wage that's going to cover housing, food, the bare essentials to keep people surviving. And that because depression unemployment rates were like 25, 30%, whatever the numbers were, they were massive. So the country invested in its citizenry to say, we're going to create a model where we can provide a minimum wage so that people can survive, so they can pay for food, so that they can pay for their rent or their mortgage, so they can pay their electric bill, so they can keep their heat on. And that has become something to diminish. The unskilled laborers, black jobs, right? Miss me with your fucking bullshit. And yet now that tariffs are going to raise your prices, and the Trump administration and Trump himself has come right out and said, yeah, it's going to get a little bit uncomfortable. You don't fucking care. mediocre white men leading the charge. Why are you not demanding universal basic income? Why are you not demanding a minimum wage that literally keeps people out of poverty? Why do you want to continue to prop up corporations? Why do you want to continue to simp for billionaires? The fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? You'll sit back and defend this shit. Meanwhile, women are losing their lives because they can't get health care? That the trans community is being erased from society? That same-sex couples are told that they don't have the same rights under the law, that you can't hang a pride flag, but you can hang a Christian flag? The fuck is wrong with you? If any of you believe in that shit, you can join your comrades and get on the fucking plane and head to fucking Moscow, because I don't give a fuck about you. I don't fucking care. I'm not reaching across the table. I'm done with you. I'm fucking done. I'm done. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with wanting to people to have access to the same things that you do? I know what it is, because you know, mediocre men, that you can't compete. You know that. You know that you can't compete. You can't compete. You haven't invested in your education. You haven't invested in your society. You haven't left your neighborhood. You've never seen the world. Instead, you want to find somebody to blame. You can't compete. You need DEI. You need it. You need access. You need diversity. You need equity. You need to be included. Because if this was based on merit, if this entire thing was based on merit, you'd fucking lose. And you know what? You know it. Which is why you want to diminish people. Which is why you want to diminish immigrants. Which is why you want to diminish veterans. Because veterans are also people that are taking it. Oh, God. I got flagged for whatever reason. I don't know. Anyway, I don't give a shit. I'm tired of this crap. I'm tired of it. When is it going to end? When are white people going to finally step up? We did this live last week about how there's no such thing as a safe space for women. And I believe that to be true, right? I believe that to be true. There's no safe space for marginalized communities when the white man holds the power. There aren't. There's no safe space. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of mediocre fucking men. I'm just tired of it. I am so sick and tired of watching what the potential is, because the potential of what we have in our country is real. It's there. There's a lot of potential. But people want to diminish because they are afraid to compete. You don't want to go toe-to-toe with people that are represented by marginalized communities because you don't want to suffer the embarrassment being passed. You don't. You want to sit back and you're entitled with your fucking balls hanging off your truck, complaining about the cost of things when you don't give a fuck about the cost of things, because as long as somebody else is being harmed, you don't care. Do better. Just do better. Just wake up one morning and look yourself in the eye and say, you know what? It takes courage to do that. I've been called out on this app. I've been accused of things in this space because people don't like to be called out. People don't like to be talked to. They don't like to be scolded. I don't give a fuck. I really don't fucking care. I just don't care. And I'm an empath. For those of you who know me know that. I just don't give a shit. It's hard for empaths to say, I don't give a fuck about your suffering, mediocre white men. I don't fucking care. I just don't. I'm not interested in talking to you. I'm not interested in breaking bread with you. I'm not. I'm tired. I'm tired of you holding back society. I'm tired of you impacting my daughter's future and my boy's future. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of you telling women that they should keep their legs closed. I'm tired of you saying that being trans means it's a mental disorder. I'm tired of you saying that gay people can't reproduce, therefore it shouldn't be legitimate. I'm fucking tired of it. Tired of it. Everybody, please keep tapping and sharing. Please consider subscribing. I appreciate y'all very much. Good morning, friend. How are you today?
Good morning, Facts. I just wanted to come up really quick and say, first of all, I appreciate and love this rant. It needs to be said, so thank you in advance. But one thing that I want to just come up and say to you, the reason why I think you got flagged, because I've heard it in other lives, you cannot say the T word.
I know.
Apparently, that's like what they're shutting down. And I don't want to tone police you or silence you or anything like that, because it needs to be said. But I don't want you to get taken down because you're part of my morning routine. So
I appreciate
that's all I
that.
wanted to
You're
say.
right.
Thank you again.
I appreciate you saying that. You're right.
Thank you so much.
You got it. Thank you for being here, friend.
Okay, can I do my wee? Can you drop me down? Wee.
You got it. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. You're right. I have to be mindful of that myself. Just makes me just so frustrating. Hey, Cass, how are you today?
Hi, I'm good. I did not mean to join.
Okay. Anything on your mind that you wanted to share?
I appreciate everything you're saying. And yeah, I listen every morning and I learn and I grow. So thank you.
I appreciate you saying that. You have a good day. Thanks for
Thank
being
you.
here.
You too.
See you later.
Bye.
Yeah, instead of saying the abbreviated reference to the transgender community, if you say that, it becomes a word that gets flagged. So that's part of the issue. All right, everybody, please keep tapping and sharing. We're hovering here, guys. If you appreciate the rant, then tap like crazy, and please consider subscribing. More rants to come. Hey, Rini, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What's on your mind today?
I just want to tell you I really appreciate you, and you remind me a lot of my dad, who was born in 1923, and he was one of the most progressive men I ever knew. He was on talk radio every day. He introduced me to some of the most wonderful people. Didn't matter what color their skin was or where their culture came from. Unfortunately, he only got to live for 61 years. And I just don't understand this world, and it breaks my heart.
Agreed.
Yeah,
You're right. I agree.
yeah. And I just keep doing what you're doing, and I try to um, say and do as much as I can. I don't go out much anymore because I have pulmonary hypertension and right side heart failure. Um, but when I was younger, I volunteered and went to the things for my son's school, and my husband is there's a guy like my dad, and you know and but again, thank you for being you.
I appreciate you saying that, Rini. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you, friend. You have a good day, okay?
Okay.
Emerald said it, right? The world we live in lacks empathy, which makes it doubly hard. We always joke in our community about Empath Island. We wouldn't get a lot done, but everybody would feel appreciated. And that's the struggle when you're an empath, right? When you're an empath and you see all this suffering, and the people that are complaining the most are the ones that are doing the most suffering and or advocating for it, right? Like, it's just, these rants are therapeutic for me, but it's important that we have these conversations. I'll say it again. Mediocre white men are holding our society back. And you know what the worst part about it is? The worst part about it is they don't realize it, because they've been propped up. Their asses have been wiped. Their grilled cheese has been made with the crust cut off, metaphorically speaking. And then they vote for the people because those people that they vote for have told them that they're special, that you're special. You've been forgotten about. You're special. I got you. Come into my flock. Bah, I've got you. And they're the ones that are holding us all back. And I don't know if we're going to see that change in my lifetime. I hope we do. I really do. But that's why I fucking fight every day. Hi, CL. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. What's on your mind?
I watch you live every day.
I just have a question. I'm not a I'm a friendly, but I just have a quick question. Or statement. I just wanted to say thank you. Literally what you just said, because white, including myself, I didn't realize my privilege when I was growing up, because I was raised in a little bubble. Like everything is happy, 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 and everything's perfect. And white people came and were the best. White straight people, Christian, blah blah blah, whatever. Anyways, grew up. Now I'm in my 30s, whatever, and learned about other cultures, communities, and indigenous folks, and all the shit that we were, whatever, all that stuff, right? Unfortunately, I wasn't taught any of that in school, but I'm learning about it now. Anyways, you just said how you said about a lot of white male, usually cis white males, are holding us. How did you word it? Are holding us down?
Yeah, straight mediocre white men are holding us back.
Yeah,
Cis
yeah.
white hetero men are holding us
Not all, but the average, most majority.
Generally speaking, exactly, because it's all of us until it's none of us. Let's be real, right?
Yes, and that's what I wanted to say. Thank you for saying that, because a lot of times when I try to, like if I make a comment, not a rude comment on posts and stuff, when I try, because like I said, I'm learning and trying to educate myself more, and when I try to educate other people, because some people, whatever, so I make comments, and soon a lot of males, white males in what society, don't like it when you call them out a lot, especially if it's a woman. Call it, well, in my experience, they get so offensive, and then they and then they mansplain or whatever it's called, and be like, oh, all you women just hate men. And I'm a lesbian, so I'm part of the LGBTQ plus whatever community, right? And they're like, oh, you lesbians just hate us, all females. You just make it all about them. But then there are a few people every now and then, a few men every now and then will comment and be like, dude, do you not understand why a lot of women don't trust the average white man if they don't know them, right? Very few times. So when you said that, I really appreciate that you voiced that, because there are good men out there like you that do exist. And I don't understand why they get so offended when I call them out. Because when someone calls me out on something, if I say something ignorant, not on purpose, and they correct me, like, right, like, or you actively try to change, right?
Well,
like if I accidentally, like if you accidentally misgender someone and they correct you with their pronouns, you actively try to you change your verbiage. I'm just
better.
bringing that up as an example, right?
Yeah, to try to do better, right?
Try to do better, right? In all circumstances. So why do the majority of men, when we point that out to those men, why do they get so fucking defensive? Why don't they just go, oh, thank you for educating me. Let me listen, right?
They're scared, they're soft, they're weak, they're fragile, they're mediocre, because they've reached the pinnacle. Again, general statement. They've reached the peak of their life in high school, and everything since then, they've been told that they're better. They were coddled. They've been told that they were better. They were told that they had advantage. They were never told that they had advantages based on their whiteness, but they were told that they are better than everybody else. They were coddled because the generation before them were coddled. The generation before that were coddled. So God forbid any woman, or in particular, a gay woman would call them out, or a member or a woman of color. God forbid that would happen.
Yeah.
And so because they don't have any empathy, because they've been told that they are superior, their reaction is either anger or lust. Because society tells men the only way they can respond to things is by being angry or being lustful or in many situations, both at the same time.
Is they're getting their like whatever their idea of masculinity, their idea of what they've been told or whatever masculinity is. That, do you think that is a part of it? Oh,
Absolutely.
I'm hurting your masculinity, like, right? And they get
absolutely. I mean, toxic masculinity. The entire thing is based on misogyny and the patriarchy, but it just impacts. I mean, we see it more in white men every single day. This is why I say, because it's not going to. Sadly, friend, it's not going to be you calling out white men and having it make an impact. It's going to take other white men. This is why when we called out our own last week, it was really uncomfortable for a lot of other white men, because my guess is they wouldn't do it. Because if you start, it's the same, like, it's just like the cult mindset. As soon as you start to be critical of the cult, then the cult tends to crumble. So if enough white men are calling out other mediocre white men, then that has the potential to blow the entire thing up. And the fragility of white men in particular aren't prepared for that.
Yes. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. So that's,
you're welcome.
I'm glad. Again, I'm glad that's what you're. Yeah, you're so right, because they're those types of men are not going to change by any females.
Nope.
Or especially LGBTQ, trans plus, or the black people of color, black people, or any other, whatever, anybody. Can I say black? Right. Am I supposed to? Oh my God, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
You're white, and where I'm white, but I don't speak for I can say black community, right? That's good, right? Okay.
BIPOC, oftentimes it's black, indigenous, person of color. That's probably the easiest way to say it. That becomes more encompassing of others.
Right, because it includes the indigenous folks.
Correct. Yep.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you for voicing that, because I hope more men hear your point of view, because you're correct.
Me too.
All right. Thank you so much.
You got it. I appreciate you. Have a good day.
Bye.
She's right? I mean, we can't listen. What she brought up is the whole point, right? And we talk about this a lot. We, the collective white men, the mediocre white men in our society, are the only ones that can stand up to the other mediocre white men in our society. How many times have you heard me say it? A system built by people who look like me to benefit people who look like me. So it's an entire systemic change, built on racism, built on misogyny, built on toxic masculinity, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All the systems that we have in place, the banking system, capitalism, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, all built for white men by white men. So as soon as enough white men say enough is enough, until it happens, it's not going to change. That's why we have to talk about it every fucking day. And as long as I have access to this, and as long as people can hear my voice and are willing to listen, I'm going to talk about it. Hey, Sam, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing okay. What's on your mind today?
I actually had a quick question for you. I wanted to get your take on something.
Sure.
I just read the new executive order Trump signed, about the travel ban, and depending on which place I go to, there's people full on freaking out. This is a Yahtzee regime returning, and then the other side is we're overreacting, and I am now genuinely confused, because I'm not YT, so there's that, and I'm not straight, so there's that. Should I be scared?
Well, I'm just trying to make sure I know exactly the one that you're talking about. So let's see. Trump travel ban 2.0 coming as soon as Friday. What countries will it affect? Trump is expected to ban or severely restrict travel to the United States by citizens of more than a dozen countries, including Iran and Venezuela, as soon as Friday. Trump orders administration to establish vetting and screening standards and procedures for entry into the U.S. and submit a list of countries that do not meet them. The order follows a campaign pledge and an initiative from Trump's first day in office. I think this has actually already been signed because this date is a few days ago. He also directed officials to identify and potentially remove nationals from earmarked countries who enter the U.S. during the Biden administration. The resulting actions could be more sweeping than the travel ban put on 7 majority Muslim countries in his first term that led to chaos at airports, lawsuits alleging religious discrimination. This time around, Trump went through a more rigorous process to implement his expected travel ban, calling for restrictions based on the level of information that countries collect and provide on international travelers, and he will benefit from an even more conservative Supreme Court when his executive actions face legal challenges. So is your question is, should you be concerned? Yeah. I think that's the point. I think we should all be concerned because then this gets into the whole dual citizenship. This gets into the whole racial profiling component that we're already seeing. So yeah, I do think you should be concerned.
Because I am a U.S. citizen, but I am by no means a U.S. born citizen. And by that I mean I am not white and born here.
Yeah.
I came here when I was 6 and I grew up here, so this is my home as much as anyone else's. But
of course,
based on my skin color, I don't know if this is going to come down on me specifically because I am a U.S. citizen. But everyone seems to think he's just trying to go after anyone who doesn't look or think like him.
I think that's the underlying theme, and I'm glad you said that, Sam. I really think that is again, like we've been discussing this morning, unless you're white, male, Christian, and straight, you are likely going to be targeted.
Okay, I was hoping for a different answer, but I guess you can't sugarcoat things.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be honest. Again, these are my own opinions on this topic, but I think we see enough of it every single day where we see people who are U.S. citizens who are being shipped to El Salvador who can't get home. We're talking about the dissolution of protections under the Constitution, including birthright citizenship and rights to due process under the law. So if there's a questioning of any particular legitimate authority as to whether or not you look like you might be a citizen, then I would say then you're probably under threat.
Got it. I mean, I'm in a blue state. I'm in Cali, so none of us have felt the effect quite yet because I think California is going to be the last to fall, if anything.
Potentially.
Yeah, hopefully, but everyone keeps telling me I should prepare, and I do not want to think this country is going to go that far. I hope not, anyway.
I don't want to sit up here and fearmonger, but I'm just trying to be realistic based on what we've seen. I think we have to stop assuming that these things can't happen. We told ourselves that too many times. I mean, 1930s Germany said the same thing.
So what next?
What next is what we're talking about. What next is reminding people that we the people are the ones who are in charge of our government. We the people are the ones that are going to stand up to fascism. We the people are the ones that are going to overwhelm the voting booths in Florida today. And in Wisconsin, for example, there's ways that we can fight without turning into a full-blown civil war. There are ways in which we can stand up for the rights of others. When we can support communities of color. We can support communities that are represented by the LGBTQI community. There are ways that we can do this. And I think if anything, if there's any silver lining from any of this, from my perspective, I think that there's been a light that has been shown on the despair and the poverty that exists in our country. And a lot of people who feel like they're in the fight are not, because they're not doing anything to help those communities. And I'm hoping that's a change that we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Where is Congress? Where is the rest of the world?
Yeah, well, Cory Booker's still going. Last time checked, he's trying to make a statement here, and we need to see more. I don't want performative. I want action. I don't want people standing there with a microphone in their hand. I want action.
That is a fair demand. Last question. Do you think it's time to quit, cut, and run? Like, I have a way out. Like, I don't need to be here, but this is my home, and I don't want to leave if I don't have to.
I think it's going to be individual. I think that there's let's be real. A lot of people, especially the people that are impacted the most, don't have the means to leave. So people who are in a position to leave, due respect, it comes from a place of privilege. Because the people that are harmed the most, like I could leave tomorrow. I'm not. I want to get my daughter out of here. I'm working on trying to figure that out, but I'm not leaving.
But if she leaves and you go, she loses a father.
I understand that, but she's got a long life ahead of her, right? And I want her to grow up without the fear of of mediocre white men telling her what she can or can't do with her body. Everybody's got to make their own decisions. I mean, ultimately, I guess I would ask everyone of the nearly 500 people that are in here, I just would be careful about that, because if you have the means to leave and then you leave, then that leaves behind the people who are going to be harmed the most. Everybody's got to be mindful of their own self-preservation. I get it. People have to make decisions for their own family. I get that too, but I'm not leaving. I'm not. Now, that's not to say my daughter's always talked about going overseas, going to college overseas potentially. So that's really nothing outside of the scope. It's just the conversations have just ramped up a lot lately.
Yeah. I mean, the sad thing is I don't have family here, so if I leave, I hurt no one. But I have friends. I have people I genuinely care about, and to think that I have to leave to make sure I'm safe just to screw them over hurts. But at the same time, I'm absolutely terrified.
I get it. Thanks for jumping in today, Sam. I appreciate you. Just consider the big picture. I appreciate you being here. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Again, we all have to be very careful when we talk about saying, I'm just going to pack up and go. That comes from a place of privilege that we have because of the system. And oftentimes the people that I speak to that say that the ones that are leaving are the ones that look like me, are the ones that the system was built to support at advantage. So when the time comes and you're faced with the prospect of leaving because things got bad for you, you're leaving behind the people who are going to be harmed the most because of the system that was built by people who look like you. Hey, Paul, how are you, friend?
Everybody. I was actually thinking this the other day. And this is just my opinion. I understand that Rosie O'Donnell left because she's taking care of her family, and she has the right to do whatever she wants. We all want to take care of our kids.
Sure.
My concern with Rosie O'Donnell is this. She saw this country suffering, knowing what was coming. And Rosie O'Donnell says, I'm going to do what's best for Rosie O'Donnell. Now, she has money. She's rich. She has privilege. She gets to go on talk shows and talk about it. Correct. But she's leaving you and I over here fighting the fight for the people that can't afford to live and don't have the privilege. That's my biggest concern with people like Rosie O'Donnell. She's using her money to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I like we just discussed. Everybody has to make their own decision. What's in the best interest for the would I love to pack up and just leave? Absolutely, but I just can't. Like I feel like it would be hypocritical when I sit here every single day and talk about these things that I do in my own community. But people who have the means, I would like to think they would use their means and their potential influence to help make changes here, as opposed to just bailing.
And every time I say that, every person, even in the chat, and that's fine. Oh, she has a kid. But you know what? Let's play this game. Let's say I'm in a court, okay? And I have 10 friends in that court, and 4 of them have trans kids, right? And then we see what's happening, and we have dinners, we have barbecues, we go out to eat. We're like, oh, I'm so scared. What are we going to do? And then one day you wake up and you found out that one neighbor with the trans kid just left the country. And you just left all of your neighbors there to fend for themselves. well, she has to do what's best for her. Well, who's going to stand up for your neighbors? Because isn't that what this is about? Is looking out for each other, not just yourself? What about the people that don't have the ability to leave? I mean, I think overall what gets me is, black people had to deal with slaveries and lynchings and being treated like second-class citizens for hundreds of years, and we're 8 weeks into a presidency, and now all the white people want to leave the country. Like, that's a very, very privileged thing to say. They didn't have the right to leave when they were slaves and being mistreated. I think people need to wake up and realize that what they're saying is very privileged. Instead of fighting the fight, they're just running away from it. What if Rosa Parks didn't sit on the bus? What if Martin Luther King didn't give a speech? I mean, I just think that we're just thinking about ourselves, which I understand that I have family too, Steve. But what kind of person am I if I just leave you to fend for yourself when other people don't have the privilege to do that?
Like I said earlier, it's a really, really complicated conversation. I guess my answer to that is, listen, I've been public about my kids here, and a lot of people I see making comments in the chat about people who have children. I get it. Like I said, everybody's got to make their own decision. If you do decide to leave, then I would just ask you to say, I'm leaving because I have the ability to do so. Therefore, my privilege puts me in a position where I can leave. You've got to be able to own that. You've got to be able to own that. And the worst part, my concern is you leave, right? People left behind suffer. And then if things get better here, you decide to come back. So
that's what I'm saying, right?
It's a complicated topic, and everybody has got to make a decision that's best for them. I just want, especially people who are just, saying that you're done or whatever else. Marginalized groups have been under the thumb of our system for a very, very, very long time. I respect people in that position who've made those decisions because literally their lives could be under threat. That I get. But for white people who just feel, like I said earlier, just feel like, it's a little bit icky, I'm a little bit uncomfortable, I just would ask that you check your privilege. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. It's almost like white people have felt like what it is to be black in this country just a little bit, and they want to leave the country. That's my concern.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. And again, I hear what you're saying too, Paul, and I want to be very, very careful. I'm not pulling punches here, but everybody's circumstances are going to be different. Everybody's circumstances are going to be different. I would just ask, and this is not just for this decision about whether or not people are going to leave the country or not. This is about realizing that if you are of a palm-colored variety, you have privilege in our country. You have privilege. You've got to be willing to accept that and understand. Say, listen, I want to go because, I don't want to live here anymore and this and that. I can do that because I have privilege. Just accept that. Accept it. And I know you will. I'm not going. It doesn't mean that I don't want to, but I've also, like I said, in my situation with my daughter, we've been talking about her going to college overseas for a long time. So it's nothing new. And I think that's what you would do. And then ultimately, when you're an empty nester, as you get older, people leave the country. So if people decide to leave, then you decide to leave. But are you leaving because that was the plan? Or are you leaving because you're running from something and leaving it for other people to fight? That's a hard conversation that people have. It is.
Hey, can I get your, what do you, and I missed part of your life, do you think that what Cory Booker is doing is, and I know that what he's doing is not going to change the country. I understand that. But do you view him as fighting for the people, or do you view that as performative?
I think it's both. I think it's performative, but I think what he's doing is he's using his rights and privileges as a senator to say these are the things that are happening, and it's getting attention, right? Yeah. So at some point, it's obviously performative. Politics is performative. At the end of the day, right? Sure. But it depends on what happens next. If more people are starting to do something, again, at least Blue Granny said it. At least he's doing something. At least there is something that's being done. It's not truly a filibuster because there was no vote, but he's using his voice and he's using privilege, and I support it.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right, bud. I'll let you go.
Thank you, brother. Have a good day.
See you.
Listen, I get it. It's a complicated issue, and I am not here to judge someone if they make a decision that they feel is best for their authority. All I am asking people to do, especially if you present as white, especially if you are white, never mind present, if you are white, just be sure that you understand that it puts you in a privileged position to be able to do so. Your community is not under threat. If you're a straight, white, cis, hetero family, your community is not under threat. You are not under threat. You are granted every possible privilege imaginable in our society. What is the goal, right? If you're saying that I just want to get my kids out of here because I'm going to stand and fight, that's kind of my approach. I'm not asking you to do what I think. I'm not asking you to do it my way. I am just asking all of us, as we're trying to move the needle forward here, that we've got to be more aware of our privilege. That's what I'm trying to say. Hope that makes sense. Everybody, please keep tapping and sharing. Only 107, all this ranting and only 179,000. Some of the mods are going to get mad at you. I'm just letting you know. Tracy, does not look like you're able to connect, friend. You can please feel free to request again. I'll be happy to bring you right back up. Jace, how are you today?
Hi, Steve. So,
how's it going?
Good. Sorry, I'm trying to find a chair to sit in. Okay, so I'm in Massachusetts, right? Okay. I am non-binary, masculine presenting, and I am extremely lucky that I have a supportive family. I've never really experienced microaggression in this state. No unnecessary anger towards me. I feel extremely lucky for that, and I do think part of it is being from the state that I'm in. I know this election, every county voted blue. I feel, proud of that, being from here. But I'm more concerned, so I have a brother who's a full Trump supporter, right? Also a cousin. I'm confused by their whole thing is keep T people, away from my kids. Keep LGBTQIA plus out of schools. Don't show that to my kids. Don't teach that to them. But they're fine with me being around their children. So is that not direct correlation of showing, okay, these people exist. They're your family. You can trust them. I babysit. I just don't understand where that disconnect comes from. And now all of a sudden they feel like the lucky ones. Now that, can I say ICE? I don't know if that'll get flagged, but in Boston, in just the 24th, hundreds of immigrants have been, I'm going to say, kidnapped and stolen, because that's how I feel about it.
I agree.
And it's just sick. And now all of a sudden they're the proud ones to be from here. And I just am so, I'm at the point, me and my brother, I tried to get through to him, and then the election he wins and make America great again. Let's get this. Totally just we've come to the conclusion that the uneducated and the mega rich voted for him. And white men refuse to believe that they are in that category. They're different and whatever. And he's very it's hard to be a white man these days because no one cares about our feelings and takes us seriously. So sorry, that's kind of multiple points and subjects, but basically I'm at the point where I felt like a hypocrite kind of because I haven't cut ties. And it's hard because I have nieces and nephews who are kind of innocent, but at the same time, they're going to be taught those things from him. He has a daughter and a son, my niece and nephew, and they're young. They're younger than 8. And it's just, but they're fine with me sharing my opinions with the kids that, yeah, gay, it's fine to be gay, blah, blah, blah. But then it's the direct opposite, yeah, men are supposed to be with women, boys supposed to like girls, you shouldn't be learning that in school. So what do I call him out and say, hey, you sound fucking stupid and it's making no sense? Or do I just let it go because it's his life, his kids, there's nothing I can do?
I think it's a fair question. I think the challenge that I guess it's the hypocrisy. So Massachusetts and Oklahoma hold two unique distinctions.
Mhm.
The only 2 states in America where every single county voted one way. All counties in Oklahoma voted red. All counties in Massachusetts voted blue.
Right.
So I think, and again, that does not mean that there are not pockets of opposition in all those counties, because we know that's the case, right?
Right.
I think the What you're describing is the ultimate in hypocrisy. So it's fine because I know you and I'm okay having you around my kids,
Right.
but I voted to take away rights of other people in your community. So that's the hypocrisy, right? So if that were for me, the conversation would be simple. Great. I'm glad you trust me around your kids. I don't know why you wouldn't, but why do you vote to take away the rights of my community? Just because you don't agree, just like we talk about how morality is subjective, right? We see these conversations all the time about the right trying to justify their hatred towards others, saying that their beliefs are that same-sex hetero marriage is the only way to exist, and that being a member of the transgender community means you're immoral. Well, those are their own. That's their own morality. That does not mean that other people feel the same. So if it were me, I would just kind of present it as, that's great. I appreciate you saying that. It's convenient for you to say that because you trust me, you know me, you feel like I'm not a threat to your children, but you're voting to take away the rights of other people.
Right. I kind of expressed that, and he was all, he's very, it's just the bad ones. It's as long as they come in the right way, it's fine.
Exactly.
Just regurgitating. And then,
well, then say, what is the right way? And then ask him, what's the right way?
And he doesn't know,
Yeah. Yeah,
he
this is
doesn't
that
know
they
what
refer to this as
asylum
like
is.
it's the bypass technique to conversation. Like try to force them to answer these particular questions. Okay, I'm confused because would you agree that we want immigration reform? I agree with that too. So what would be your solution to immigration reform? Then make them answer.
Right. Well, when I tell you they're uneducated, it's like they went to Trump school. Like that's all they know. They've never been into politics. And now, like I've been listening all morning. I listen to you almost every day, so I know, their state of mind, their mindset. They feel important and, heard. So I'm just like at a loss. Like I just don't, I will try to have that conversation just for the sake of maybe my voice will be in your head, because if you trust me and you're fine with me, maybe next time you see it IRL, you'll hear me.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And again, it's not just they feel heard, Jace. It's that they feel validated, meaning that because they're told by their leaders, their elected officials, that they as mediocre white men are the victims, they feel validated.
Right. That's exactly it. So many white men unalive and no one cares. And it's like all lives matter. Like that's his like.
Correct.
And I just, okay. I'll try to have that conversation. But like you said, it needs to be other white men telling white men. And, I'm fortunate enough to be from where I am, but I already feel a change in the air. So I'm just nervous to see what happens. But yeah, my privilege has been, I've been lucky, and I can acknowledge that. Why can't they?
I appreciate you saying it. That's exactly the point. Thanks for jumping in today, Jace. Appreciate you.
Have a good one. Bye.
You too. Be safe out there. It gets the point, right? It's not just about, it's not just about being heard because white men have always been heard, right? Again, society built by and for people who look like me. It's about the validation that they get from others that you are the victim. You're the ones. White men are under attack. White men are under threat. No. Nope. It's never been the case. Never will be the case unless other white men call them out. We went through an experience. This is why I've said this recently. We know the collective. We know that they're members of the conservative, fascist Christian nationalist movement in our country. We know that they are threats. They tell us every single day. We know that they diminish women. They see women as property. They do not support members of the LGBTQIA community. They do not support members of the BIPOC community. We know who they are. The problem that we face more and more every single day is that men on the left who claim to be in support of those communities that I just mentioned are not. In fact, they're more dangerous because they have the ability to use platforms like this to lure people in, making the claims that they are the heroes. If anybody tells you that they're a safe space, run like hell. Make them fucking earn it. Make them prove it to you. I've said it every single day, and I'll say it here again. I'm not a safe space. I'm a white man in America. I have no expectation that anyone would trust me under any circumstance. All I can do is try to prove it, and if people feel that way, then I have to continue to prove it. I am not the arbiter of what makes a good man. I am not. All I can do is do what I think is right, and if people feel that way, then that's great. But I have to check myself every fucking day. And I have people in this community that I trust, that I expect to check me. Because my privilege will show up, no doubt about it. Misogyny will show up, no doubt about it. The masculinity, that bullshit recipe for disaster will show up, no doubt about it. We're all kind of in this fight. And unless white men are willing to call out other white men, it's not going to change. The question is, who's in it? Who's in the fight? Because we'll find out. Okay. We need 200,000 guys. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider subscribing. I really, really appreciate that. If you enjoy the rants, by the way, I've not heard from Crazy Mother Runner Jess, because we know that the fundraising deadline for her race in Virginia closed at midnight last night. And if she hit her goal, I agreed to glitterize my beard, and the emerald green was the color that was chosen for me. So I have no idea how that's happened. I would imagine if she hit the goal, she would have been here bright and early to remind me of that. I hope she came close. I'm just checking. There's not a lot of reporting out of Florida currently about the special elections down there, but it does look like there's, let me see if I can find anything. Similarly in Wisconsin, or again, those two races in District 1 and District 6 in Florida, and special election in Wisconsin to decide which direction the Supreme Court in Wisconsin leans. We'll certainly be reporting on those as the day progresses. Just do it anyway? No, it's got to be an incentive. Hey, Sherry, how are you?
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. What's on your mind?
Well, lots of things. We're in a real mess, aren't we?
We are indeed. Yes, we are.
I also want to, you've been talking about white men, but I also want to put a little finger on white ladies. And as a white lady, boy, have we screwed up. And this past election, where are all of you white ladies? If any of you are out there and you didn't vote, where are you? We're in this mess a lot because our sisters in color fought for our rights and went and voted. Where were you, white women? And as a white woman, I have been just so upset since the election. And I have to say this. I'm 71. I'm only thing I'm really worried about is Trump taking my Social Security, which I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But my daddy was a World War II Army sergeant, and he went in at Omaha Beach. He got 5 silver stars, jumped on top of a fire tank, and fought in the war.
He was Antifa.
And it breaks my heart, that generation. My dad had PTSD. When he was, just before he died, I took care of him the last 3 years of his life. And 3 years prior to that, we found him out in his woods digging a foxhole and reliving the war. And that is what they sacrificed for us. My dad was different because of what he went through. He was in Patton's army. He was in the bloody part of it and through Germany and France and all that. I'm glad. I mean, this is terrible to say, and don't believe me. I'd love to have my daddy with me. He would be 100 years old now, but I'm glad he's not seeing this, and it breaks my heart for my country. And I have had to make some decisions. I live in Texas. I've got to get out of Texas. And I've had it looks like I may have the opportunity to move to some cold weather. I'm originally from cold weather. So I'm making a decision and preparing to move to Maine. Because I got to get out of Texas. I just do. I can't be here. I don't have, and I'm kind of like ashamed of myself because I don't think that I did speak up, but because of where I'm at, there are times when you have to be fearful of speaking up. Like I couldn't put a sticker or a yard sign here because of where I'm located and because of the type of people. Just read between the lines, the type of people that are here with prejudice and certain flags that they put up and things. So you have to be careful. It can be dangerous to speak up.
I get that. That's totally legitimate.
And then I felt bad because I should have the right to be able to speak up. I know you go up to vote and they're all talking about how to vote and about the election, standing like getting ready to go in to vote. And I'm like, there's like 10 of them. If they're going to break the law and do that, then I'm going to say something. So I just went up and I said, look, you guys aren't supposed to be talking about this right here. Go in and vote for him and then leave. You don't have to be announcing everything and talking about it.
That's right.
And and so they were like, this is a free country. We can do what we want. I said, not here.
Exactly.
Not here. You cannot do that. And I said, come on. And I said,
no campaigning within certain distances of
and voting. We all know everybody here in this line is going to vote for him anyway. That's what I told him. So why are you even worried about it? Just shut up and go in and vote.
Nice.
And so I guess my little 71-year-old rebel got out, came out of me. But anyway, it's like, and then I just lost a friend. She won't talk to me because of my beliefs. But you know what? I didn't really lose anything.
Was she your friend to begin with?
As a 71-year-old woman, is she worried about me losing my Social Security? I didn't plan everything really great. And my husband and I that's all we have for income. So, if he takes, it's not something that's given to me. I worked all my life for that, and it hasn't been easy. And I would still work now. I guess I'm a medical biller, but I can't because of my health. I broke both my legs and everything, but I can get on the phone, baby. I got on the phone for Florida and I can call and I can send cards.
Yes, you can.
Fight this back. And I'm so proud of Corey. I hope it's a good start to the Democrats.
He's still going.
Wake up.
He's still going.
I
appreciate you, Sherry.
We gotta fight this. We can't let our forefathers and our dads and our grandparents sacrifices the things that they sacrificed and give this country to them. And I want to be proud of when the Super Bowl came on and the national anthem was playing. I was embarrassed. I've never felt that way with the national anthem. I've always been proud. But how can I be proud when we're so racist? How can I be proud of our country when we're doing the things we're doing to people and children and the needy and the hungry? How is that of God? If you believe in God, how is that of God? And that's all I really have to say. I had to get it all off my chest because it really bothered me. But I appreciate Sherry, everything you do. We are in this fight.
We are.
And I'm going to do it for Maine.
Well, there you go. It's a great place to be. You can do it from anywhere. But I appreciate your voice, and you're right. Thank you for being here today, Sherry.
Have a great day.
You too. See you later. She's right. I'm glad she called out white women. Let's be real. I would like to as well. I'm glad it's going to take white men to call out white men. It's going to take white women to call out white women. Let's get it done. Hey, Liz, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
I do kind of want to call out, and this isn't just you, this is pretty much any left-leaning creator out there, is that there's one marginalized community that's been completely forgotten about, and that's the disabled. And
yeah, I do talk about them, but I don't talk about them enough when I do my pitch. You're absolutely right.
And it's a group that's always been forgotten. And ever since C19, we think, yeah, at the beginning we thought that we were going to come out better as humans, and that didn't happen. Um, and and I also get very frustrated that people say like during C19 or during the pandemic, but the pandemic is still ongoing. I don't know if you know the OMS, what's it called in English? The WHO, they never declared an end to the pandemic. It is still ongoing. What was declared an end to was the emergency phase, which was when so many people were unaliving before vaccines were available. But the pandemic is not over, and it's a virus that continues disabling people rapidly.
You're right.
There are now over 40 million Americans with long C19.
I know.
And I know you and I have talked about this before, but for people out there in the chat, I also have ALS. I have ALS and long C19, and my long C19 is far more disabling than my ALS. So, ALS, people also refer to it as Lou Gehrig's disease in the US, what Stephen Hawking had. So, I mean, that's a lot, saying a lot, of how bad it is. And the community of people with long C19 and people who are otherwise immunocompromised due to other ailments, feel very left out of society. And Paul in the comments, yes, 40 million.
It's a very fair call out, and I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. I'd like to try. It's obviously that's when I speak to the marginalized communities that are impacted. Sadly, there are so many, but you're absolutely right, and I have referenced the disabled community in the past, but I'll make sure that I continue to do that because you're absolutely right.
I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Liz.
So
thank you for being here.
That's
I always
basically
appreciate
all.
you. You got it. Have a good day. Be safe out
thanks.
there. Okay. All right. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Listen, I've got some capitalism I've got to do. Intense today, right? Your boy went on some rants, and I'll continue to do it because I think it's absolutely necessary. I will leave you with this. Those two special elections in Florida today are going to tell us a lot. They're going to tell us the condition that our democracy is in. Because if enough voters show up and we pull these victories out of a hat, that will be incredible. But if enough voters show up to say to the conservative fascists in our country that the American electorate is seeing what you're doing and we're listening, we're paying attention, and we're reacting. Remember, plus 30 in Gay Vallemont's district, plus 19 in Josh Wheel's district. Those are the margins that Trump won by in 2024. Let's see what happens. That Supreme Court race that is in Wisconsin, also a very, 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 very important election because that will potentially keep the Supreme Court in Wisconsin progressive, left-leaning, which means they can continue to protect women's rights, voting rights, et cetera, et cetera. You know the drill. Okay, we're going to raid our friend Mo. You guys don't know Mo Moderate. Please tell him that we said hi. Again, nobody tomorrow, no live tomorrow, but I'll be back here on Thursday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time. I appreciate you all. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everybody, for today's show. You guys are awesome. We'll see you on Thursday, 8 a.m. And again, a reminder, we're going to go raid our friend Mo, join our Discord. Please, if you wouldn't mind, heading on over to the YouTube, subscribing over there, because whatever happens with
Hey guys.